Perfect. Nearly. I nearly got it right. One day I'll get it right. I'll have the mic muted when I turn it on. Okay. So, who's here tonight? Well, anyway, I'm back. I said I would do another show today, and I've kept my word. Let's see what else comes in now. There's a few of you here. I can tell there's a few people in here. Anyway, I'll just start the show. Yeah, I said I would do another show tonight, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know what's happened again, but it's like the day went too fast, and then before I knew it, I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to do this show tonight, I need to have some kind of things to talk about, and not just be kind of randomly putting things on. So I managed to pull a few things together. If you look at the thumbnail, I know it doesn't look very how can I say, doesn't look very happy or nice, to be honest with you, but I'm not going to fixate on those topics. I just might mention them in the video. So I thought I'd just put something there that maybe we can talk about. Anyway, we've got a first comment here. Let me have a look. So this is Alyssa. Hi, it's Lisa. Well, hello, hi. Yeah, I know. I just answered a comment from you. You left me a comment on, I can't remember what video was it. I get quite a few comments, but I just saw your comment before, so I was answering it just before I came live, just so I can keep on top of them as well. But yeah, it's good to see you here. Anyway, it's the first time I've seen you in the live chat, so yes, you're very welcome to be here. If you've not seen me do these before, I'm still kind of like finding my way, what I want to do. I don't want to just be like just talking to camera. I like to kind of look at videos and chat about things. And I kind of I do everything very organically and kind of spontaneously. This is not as organized as my other videos. My other videos are pretty organized. These type of videos are just kind of chill. Let's see. Yes, you did. No worries. Oh no, well, no, it's no problem. You know, I know you've commented a few times on my videos, so I'm like, you know, when I get people that comment a few times, not a lot, and I start recognizing them, it's quite good for me, because then I'm like, oh, I recognize you. You know what I mean? I was a new one here as well. So this is Rags. Oh, hello, nice to see you here. I think this is your first time here as well on a live chat. It's always nice to see new people. I have a few regulars, so I'll know when the regulars come in and stuff. So it's quite nice to see new people. It's yeah. I don't know if this is the first time you've seen any of my live chats, so you know, you're welcome here. Let's see. I got Mercury. Oh, hello, nice to see you again. You're a regular, aren't you, Mercury? Hi, Rachel, and everyone. Yes. Yeah. So, well, I'll just tell you a little bit. I mean, basically, what have I done in the last 24? Well, since my last live show last night, I kind of, how can I say? I haven't done a right lot, to be honest with you. Oh, wait a minute. I tell a lie. I don't know. I feel like I've not done a lot, but actually, I have done a lot, because the thing was, I spent most of my morning. I woke up this morning and I was like, I said to everybody who was in the live show last night, I said, I might start doing some merchandise for the channel because when you, I think it's when you hit 10,000 subscribers, which I have over 10,000 subscribers, YouTube allows you to set up a shop on your page. So I actually have been selling things, um, t-shirts and badges and things like that on another website that I've been using, which is called it's called Redbubble. I think it's Redbubble, and I've been like selling things on that site for maybe longer than I've been doing YouTube, to be honest with you. And I thought, oh, great. Well, if I can set up a store, then I can move my account from there and have it on my YouTube, so that if any of you guys want to purchase anything, you can. Plus the fact I can do things that are more to do with the channel, so more themed with what we're talking about. So like the videos I cover, maybe there's something from the videos, or maybe it's just something like trans related. Like I've been talking about doing like badges with like the trans flag and maybe some other flags as well from the LGBTQ community and stuff. So I've just been thinking about doing things like that. But the problem is, YouTube only lets certain companies be able to put their products on YouTube, and so they don't have an agreement with Redbubble. So I was like, oh, I can't put Redbubble on. So they had another one. I think it was Teespring, and I looked at that website and I thought, okay, it's similar to what I do with Redbubble, so I'll use them. And so I tried to set it up this morning. I got up this morning. I thought, okay, I'll set this up, and then 3 hours later, I'm like, okay, it's not letting me put them on. It's not letting me do anything. So I did set up a store, and it's all ready, but for some reason I can't put it on YouTube at the moment. But to be honest with you, I don't think you can do as many items on there. And really, what I want to do is more like fun stuff. So, like, stickers, badges, not just T-shirts. Because yes, T-shirts can be pretty cool, but I mean, I don't. I mean, it depends what you guys would be interested in. I mean, feel free to leave me a comment and let me know what you guys would like to see, because I can make things that might you might like. Um, but I was just thinking, yeah, mainly let's focus on like badges and stickers and stuff, and just little things that people can just buy and can have fun with. And then well, basically the Teespring, you can do stickers, but you can't do badges and things. So I was a bit, but I'm gonna show you a bit about that later on, because I've got it all ready for today. So it's not just what's in the thumbnail. There's some interesting things with that, and I'm gonna find something else a bit more fun to talk about as well. Let me just get on top of these comments, because I see some comments coming through. So I took a look at your T-shirt designs on Redbubble. Really love it. Okay, yes. So you've had a look, right? Yeah, because I've added the store. I added the store on my actual links on my YouTube already, so you can go to it if you go to the link. And I think there's a link below this video. Pretty sure I put a link for this one below the video. At the moment, I've only got 2 designs on there, but I'm going to show you in a minute. I think it's interesting anyway, and I basically I did one with the trans flag, and I thought, yeah, it works. I mean, you can have a look at it. I'm going to show it anyway in a bit. And I did one with the trans flag and put protect the dolls. So I did it with the trans flag, and I think it looks really cool. So I hope you guys like it. So I'm going to show you that in a bit. Let me get on top of these comments because they're coming through quick, aren't they? I think your channel merch has to be Amazon. No, I don't think so. I couldn't find a link for that. No, there was nothing. I mean, maybe you do have to do that, but I didn't find anything like that. It gave me a selection of different stores, which I've not used any of them to create stuff before, and I thought I'll try them. But every time you try something new, anything you try new, it always takes forever to sort out. And it just, yeah. So I felt like I've done nothing today, but in fact, I spent my day let me get these pillows right. I spent my day trying to set up these stores, and it's just, oh, it makes me feel like I've done nothing. Because I mean, I want to um, I want to get lots done in my day, and I just feel like, "Oh, I'm not getting anything done." And obviously today I've not done anything with videos. Because I said I would do this live show, and I did the live show last night. So if I do a live show, I won't do my recordings. So I've got like, I think about 5 videos ready that I want to do. I do actually make a lot of videos. Trust me, I've got a lot of videos. Even now I could release like, I think I've got 5 or 6 already saved on my YouTube channel that you can't see yet. And so I'm kind of just making them every time I get an idea or something I want to talk about. I just make a video. But the thing is that normally means I have to spend a few hours recording, and I normally do that in the evening. So if I do a live show, then I'm not doing recording as well. So tonight is just this. Tonight is my live show. But if I do recording, which I don't need to do it right now. There's no hurry, but that will end up being what I do. So I decided I want to do a live show anyway. I really enjoyed it last night, and I wanted to get back on here and see you all again, and especially anybody who's subscribed to me and maybe hasn't seen me live. I want to be here for you guys. I want to kind of share. I don't know, a bit more of a connection than just be like just talk to you through my videos. So this is my little way of being more connected to people. And ever since I kind of got to the 10,000 subscriber mark, I always felt like I had a bit more of a responsibility to be here. So, and plus, I mean, I enjoy it. So, Linehan dartboard. Ooh. I, I always, yeah. Well, well, what can I say about that? Because you know me, I don't want to be like too offensive to anyone, but I mean, I have pulled some things to watch today, just some little clips, not really. Hello, Kirsty as well. I forgot to say hello. Um, but I haven't pulled much today. No, I have pulled much today. I did pull something on him because he went to court today, and I was shocked to see what I saw. I mean, anybody who's seen that already probably know what I'm talking about. But you can see the thumbnail. You can see the thumbnail because that was from today. Or maybe Amazon is just most popular with creators. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, would Amazon be good for me? Probably, but I didn't see any links to use Amazon on this one. Maybe it's just where I am or something. It's just I don't have the option. But the options it gives me are they're okay. The options it gives me, it's just that they're not really. I prefer to use that Redbubble. What's this one? JKR Pinter. What do you mean by that, Kirsty? Sorry, I'm really bad with lingo on online and stuff. You have to let me know what that means. Great idea, Kirsty. Oh, well, Mercury knows what she means. I'm not sure. Oh, here we go. Was it Kiswick Falcon toilet paper? Oh, right. Who's that? Who's that? I'd have to look that up. Who is that? Well, let me look. Yeah, I've got a phone. Let me see. I'm sorry, I'm just out of it completely. Let me see. Because the thing was, I never really bothered with these people until I kind of like, with my website. Oh, this lady. Okay. So is she quite anti-trans, this lady? Don't know about her. Let me see. So what she and the EHRC under her leadership have come under criticism for trans and other LGBT organizations following comments she made in 2021 into the Times, in which she said that women had the right to question trans identity without fear or abuse. Yeah. Oh, I see. Well, yeah, there was another one in it. There's plenty of them. There's plenty of them out there, unfortunately. Plenty of these anti-trans voices. And like I said in my videos, it's like You know, that's why we've got to say something. We've got to stand up. I don't mean we've got to, we don't have to be as obsessive with them as they are with us. We've got better things to do in our lives than obsess over them. But I think when they say something, it's just like it's worth just saying something back. That's why I do my videos. Like, my video on Graham Linehan. I think it's Linehan. I call him Linehan, but I guess it's Linehan. He like him, right? I mean, I just felt like there was so many people saying, "Oh, free speech, you should be allowed to do this," and I just felt like, what? It's just, the things he says are so, I mean, look, yes, we have free speech. I mean, I said this yesterday. I don't want to keep going over this. Yes, we have free speech, but at the same time, what he did step into, hate speech. He was inciting violence, and I just don't understand how people can't understand that. Well, I mean, they can. They're using it for their own thing. They want to use it as if he's a martyr or something. So a plinter is one of them things with a suspended and fumbled to release wheats. Spanish. Oh, right. Oh, well, you hit the thing. Is that what you meant? Oh, okay. I think I know what you mean now. Elkin is the transphobe, right? Ah, yeah. Now I'm starting to understand what you mean. Well, that'd be pretty cool. I wish I could do something like that. Well, why not? Look, I've got nothing wrong. If we want to have a bit of fun with some stuff, I mean, look, there's a few characters that are coming on my page, and I call them characters because they are at the end of the day. If they want to keep putting themselves and criticize trans people, as far as I'm concerned, they're characters in and they might pop up a few times. Especially the way that Edge of the Matrix is acting is like absolutely crazy in his new video. I'm going to show you something for that as well, because I just crazy, to be honest with you. Scientists, the science is on our side, so they fall back on calling discrimination a belief. Yeah, well, the thing is, yes, science is on our side. There is plenty of science for trans people. But they will never accept that. They will never accept that. It's just not, it's, they said biology and that's it. It's like, yeah, but there's more to it. There's so much more to it. Why can't you open your mind to that? Because they just won't. They never will. They'll never accept it. It's just, that's them now. They'll never accept it. To try to justify their hate. I mean, yeah, completely. Donuts would be good. Well, yes. Well, you never know. Look, I mean, let's see what I can do. I mean, I'm open-minded to see what I can sort out, because I feel like I think I've been saying this. I mean, I've set up this community on this channel, and I intend to make that. I started with a channel supporter option, and then we did a private show last Sunday, and it felt really, I don't know, it felt really good. Even though I know we're doing live now and stuff, and to be honest, I'm doing the live shows because I want people. There is plenty of subscribers on this channel, and I want them to come in, and I want them to be part of this. Because obviously it's an option to become like a channel supporter or join this community that I'm trying to put together on this channel. But if they enjoy it and they want to be part of it, they're absolutely welcome to join, and I really hope they do. Because as we can, create this community here, then we can basically have our own thing. We can plan our own stuff. Like you say, like I'm looking at what you're saying to me about these ideas, and if I can make anything realistic, I will do. I mean it. I really want to do that. But I mean, I'm going to show you a few things anyway, because I already have a great company that I've been selling products with for a long time, because I've always enjoyed like creating t-shirts and things like that. So they're really good. So I'm going to give you guys that link, so at least show you what I can do. So I have been pushing back on many channels today. Okay, I've been pushing back on many channels today, asking why very existence should be valid questioned for free speech. Yeah, well, the problem is right now it's all over YouTube, I mean, I'm a bit of a YouTuber in the sense. I'm a YouTuber, obviously, because I have got, I am a YouTuber, but I I also, I enjoy watching other people's content and stuff, and I go through the channel, and and I've obviously, because uh, I've already kind of covered some stuff on certain people. They pop up on my channel, so once you kind of do a video on like Edge of the Matrix, all of a sudden, even though I don't subscribe to him, he's popping up in my channel all the time, so I get to see like, oh, is that what he's up to now? Not our choice, and I don't click on the videos. It's only like if someone I think, okay, I'm gonna check this out. Um, and obviously, because I did Graham Linehan, I've just been getting updates about that all day. So I've seen loads of clips and some videos I've watched, and yeah, just like but it's gonna happen, isn't it? Because right now that's what's going on. Let me see. We've got Rags. What did you say? Never is eternal. I believe there will be more empathy, more understanding in time. Evolution is full of change. People are who they are, and it doesn't go away. It can't be suspended. Stay positive. Yeah. Suppressed. Sorry, not suspended. Suppressed. Yeah. Well, I mean, I always say about trans people in general as well, that we're not going anywhere because we've always been here. And even though, people like, Graham Linehan and J.K. Rowling and people like that, they would love to erase us. But it's just like an impossible battle for them, because all they can do is they can try to silence us and push us out of social life, which is what they are trying to do. But they can't erase us, so we're still here. It's just like what they used to do with the gay community, where they tried to get rid of the gay community, and in the end, it was like, well, you can't stop someone from being gay. Um, just like you can't stop trans people from being here. So it's just part of nature. It's just part of the world. So it's basically a pointless fight for them, because all they're going to do is, yes, it can be damaging for us living now and having to experience this. I understand that. But in the end, they can't win, because we're always going to be here. It's just going to be the same thing, like saying, "Oh, well, we don't want trans people. We don't want trans people." Whatever. If you're going to carry on like that, just make things hard for the people alive today. But in 100 years, 200 years, as long as humanity is still alive, still living, we have humans. Trans people are going to be here. So it's like, well, So I mean, one thing that we definitely can say, since the last 20-25 years, I guess, since the millennium and everything, we've become more and more and more in the public eye. People started to become more conscious of us, and I think for some people who didn't really know much about trans people, they feel like, oh, these people have just kind of appeared, and don't understand our history. They don't understand that we've always been here, and so they think like this. And then the people who are spreading all the hate and a lot are saying the same thing. Like, I mean, like, for example, that Edge of the Matrix, he claims that the trans people came about because of the internet and mobile phones, right? So it's like just mental. So people like that are going around spreading rubbish like that, because they just don't know, and they refuse to listen. They don't want to know that there's loads of historical figures and history with us, and you know we exist in every culture. So to me, it's just like, all these people, they don't really, they annoy me in the sense that they're hurting other trans people and they're hurting me and trying to destroy our existence. But at the same time, I just think like, well, why do they do this? Because they're just wasting their time. Because when they're not here, I mean, maybe in their lifetime they think, oh, okay, great, I did something great. It's like, no, like J.K. Rowling, she could have just been remembered for being like the Harry Potter writer, but she's just going to be known as a transphobe. I mean, that's all she's going to. When she's gone, her history what does she think is going to happen when she's no longer on this planet? You know what I mean? People aren't going to be saying, "Oh, that great author." People are going to be saying like, "Oh, yeah, that author is a transphobe." That's all. That's what she's going to be famous for. You know, that's what people are going to be saying in 100 years' time. They're not going to be saying any. Why does she want to? Why does she want to be that? You know, and you know, and use an excuse like she, "Oh, I'm fighting for women's rights." Like, no one thinks you're doing that. We all know what you're doing. Just transphobe. Awesome, yeah. It is awesome, isn't it? Did I miss some out here? 1 minute. Let me just double check I didn't miss out. I did miss some, didn't I? I missed a lot of comments there. What am I doing? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Uh, Great Rags. There's a lot. I've got this miles away, so I have to lean forward. There's a lot of let's see, minorities. Most folks are good. Yeah. Oh yeah, most people are. Most people are good. I think most of society actually is very accepting. It's just that the media and politicians at the moment that are just like, you know, that well, they're using us as like I keep saying this. They're using us as a scapegoat. There's a lot of problems going on. I mean, like here in the UK, I mean, we definitely got what is it, cost of living and stuff. Everything's gone up, and people are unhappy, I think. And in times like this, they want someone to blame. And it's always easier for politicians to point the finger at minority groups and say, well, they're the problem. They're the problem. Instead of actually looking at actually what is the problem. And so people are just like, yeah, let's fight this minority. And that's just how it always works out, isn't it? You're very beautiful and I love your artistic designs. I think anything incorporating LGBT flag would be well. I mean, it's an obvious, should I say, a no-brainer for me to do that. I mean, obviously, it's a trans channel. Thank you. So it makes sense me doing something with LGBTQ. But well, let's see what works. I'm going to show you some designs anyway in a bit. Big influences all the former feminist types like Greer. I don't think younger generation will be like this. Yeah, well, there's another thing as well. I mean, let's see what the next generation. I feel like most of the younger generation is more open-minded and more acceptant, and a lot of them. I mean, like these people, they'll say, "Oh, they're teaching people in the universities to be, to follow trans." Well, they say trans ideology. Which they're not doing that. They're teaching them about transgender people. So a lot of younger people, they kind of already know about trans people. They might have friends that are trans because obviously a lot of younger trans people now feel comfortable to come out younger. So they're used to trans people in their society. So I mean, let me give you an example, right? I go to Thailand quite often, and obviously Thailand has a very big community of transgender people, LGBTQ people. And it for me, and what I've noticed, I'm not saying that they've got perfect rights for people over there either, but they don't have this argument that we do over toilets. They don't have this thing about we want to erase trans people from public life. They don't have that. There's no big argument about trans women are affecting women's rights in Thailand. In Thailand, it's just trans people are just part of society, just accepted. They No one's really shocked or being funny about it. I think the arguments we have here in the UK and America just wouldn't make sense to them over there. They're just like, well, they've got friends that are trans. They've got family that's trans is very common. It's just part people. When trans people can come out very easily in Thailand. It's very more relaxed society. And when I go there, I mean, on that side of things, I find that there's so much more acceptance of trans people. Like I said, I know Thailand pretty well, so I do know that the laws are not that great. They still won't allow trans people to change their gender and stuff like that. So it's not perfect. Don't get me wrong. They're not like this kind of perfect country for transgender people. But one thing that they do is they accept trans people, and they don't have this thing like, whoa, trans people can't use the toilet and they shouldn't be in women's space. It's like, no, we have trans women, we have trans men. They use the space that their identity is. That's where they go. We can't force trans men to use the women's and trans women to use the men's. That would not make sense at all. So to them, it's like a crazy concept. But here in, like, especially in England, it's like that's what they're trying to do, and it's just, it's not, it's just so stupid, really. But they can't understand that. They just can't understand it. I think a big influence is all that. Wait, I already got that. I would put it past. I wouldn't put it past them. I'm not sure. Sorry, I'm too far behind. I know one day I won't be able to read all the comments because for me to keep up with them is quite difficult. They want to banish us from public life. Well, that's what I said. They want to banish us. I 100% want to banish us. I'm chatting fast tonight. Yes. Yeah, it's okay. You guys, I mean, you can chat in the chat. I mean, to be honest, I've always kind of gone through the chat, but I guess it's cool, guy. Coming left hand, and well, anyway, well, I might just give it a bit of slow down. Okay, because I'm gonna be too much on the comments, but we can go through the comments different parts. So let me see what we said anyway. I'll get this one. So it's surprising how many people come out as left-handed and they stopped suppressing it. Yeah, when it became easier to go transition and more people expressing their identity, they wanted to go back into a box. Yeah. Well, look, it's the same thing. It's the same thing as like left-handed people, isn't it? There was a time when you had to write with your right hand, and I believe they like. I think my father actually had that problem. He was. I'm pretty sure it was my father, unless I'm thinking his father. I'm not sure. I remember hearing a story about it and saying that because I know my dad's left-handed. But they have to write with the right hand, and then we're kind of forced. So yeah, it's always a thing. There's always something that people just don't like. And right now, unfortunately, in the UK, it's trans people. So anyway, what we're doing then? Look, we'll go through some more comments. Why don't we go through some comments, and then I'm going to show you all my things because I got loads of stuff. Because I feel like at the beginning of the show, we should just kind of relax into it. Shouldn't go straight into the videos. Let me see if there's all you guys are saying. Not knowing about trans people won't make person cis. Yeah, knowing about trans people won't make it won't make cis people become trans anyway. It's like knowing about gay people, what makes them straight. The idea that well, I mean, if you've been watching all my videos, you've seen like the Edge of the Matrix and his crazy opinions, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't really follow Graham Linehan's comments, but I'm pretty sure he's probably on the same wavelength as Edge of the Matrix, which they met today. They were together today, so I'm going to show that in a bit. They decided, I think the Edge of the Matrix went to meet him, so they met up today. So it's surprise, you know what I mean? It's always interesting to hear about different countries and cultures. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be doing more videos on different countries and their laws and how acceptant they are on trans people and stuff, because I think it's worth shining a light on this. Okay, remember it well. Chonburi, I think it's Chonburi. Yeah. Well, I go to Thailand quite often, so I mean, I'll be going again next year, as I have friends there, and it's a very welcoming place. And for trans people, it's a lot more welcoming than. Well, I mean, it's a lot more welcome. I say it's not more welcome in the UK because people in the UK are absolutely fine with trans people. What I mean is, it's kind of you just don't have this in the media, and you don't have this kind of culture war or whatever it is that they're doing at the moment here in the UK. It just wouldn't make sense to Thai people. It just wouldn't make sense to be arguing over this point. It's like it's an of course they haven't given people the same rights there. So saying that, I do have more. I mean, like I can change. Still, I can change my birth certificate here. I can change my documents, whereas they can't. So there is an argument there to say, well, isn't that's better? And it's like, yeah, it is. About being able to change your documentation, but at the same time, we just don't have to live with this garbage that we see in the media, because it just doesn't exist, because it's like no one there would really accept it. They would just think it was crazy. So anyway, why don't we have a look at some videos? Because we've been talking for about, well, I've been talking for 5 minutes. And surprise, surprise, the camera hasn't gone off. I really shouldn't have said that, should I? It'll go off now. But it's the first time I've done a live show in the last 2 weeks where the camera didn't decide to go off at the beginning. Because normally it decides to go off on and have and break, but it hasn't done today, so quite happy about that. Right, let's see what I can find. So I don't know, maybe we should have a little bit of a bit more fun. Maybe start with something fun. I thought they changed it a while ago. No, not if you're on about Thailand, they didn't change the rules on Mr. and Miss and all that on the documents. They can't change their birth certificates and driving licenses thing. They're still Mr. If you're a trans woman, you're still Mr. And if you're a trans man, you're still Miss. But I think it's only a matter of time. I think Thailand will go ahead with that. It takes time. There is still, there's still, their system isn't perfect, but Thailand is a lot more relaxed. Like, well, one of the examples I could probably give is the army. So in Thailand, all the males in Thailand, they have to join the army. I think it might be 18. I might be wrong about that. 16, 18 or something like that. And what would happen is if you were transgender, you would go to the army recruitment thing. You had to go. And you have to go pick out this, like a ball or something. I think it's like you've got to pick. It's like a lottery if you're going to end up in the army. So you can choose to go in the army. Don't get me wrong. You can choose to join anyway. So there's no like forcing you. But obviously they are forcing certain people. So you kind of do like a lottery, and then some of the males, they have to go fight. Well, not fight, but join the army. And so obviously if you're trans, you don't really want to do that. But the thing is, as long as in Thailand, it's kind of as long as you've started the transition process, so you're living as a woman. Normally in Thailand, everyone get on hormones and stuff. So if you can't, they won't want you. Yeah. And that's not being nasty. They're like, oh, you're trans. Okay, no problem. You don't have to join. It's like that. And then you could say, look, I guess the anti-trans people here in the UK would be saying, oh, well, you could pretend, couldn't you? And it's like, well, we could, but they are quite, strict on it. It's like they expect you to at least start like hormones and things like that. So you've got to kind of show that you are transitioning. So I guess if you haven't started hormones and you just living as a woman, it might be harder to prove it, and the army might recruit you. But they're pretty aware. Like if someone is trans, they don't really want you to join, basically, because obviously they don't want a trans woman joining the army. They don't want that. So if they think you are a transgender person, then they won't let you join anyway. So so they won't force you into the army and stuff like that. So I mean, I just give you that's like an example of something they do. And it's like trans people, when you're in Thailand, you're very likely to, if you go into a shop, very likely if you go into a restaurant or anything like that, you'll see trans people working. So it's just more common there. And I mean, that's why I went to Thailand to have my my breast surgery, because the doctor that I went to see, that's who he does surgeries for. Most of his clients are all transgender people. So why not go somewhere where the doctor does that every day? So yeah, I mean, that's just the difference over there. Do you know what I mean? Because they live more openly, and I think in the UK and I think America and other countries, that's where it's going, where people can just be who they are, and they don't have to hide away. But now with these, politicians and these people like who are just full of hate, or deluded people. Because I mean, I'm going to say that I feel like the Edge of the Matrix and Graham Linehan have got a problem in their mind. They are fixated on trans people, and I think they've got a problem. I don't think it's just, for me, it's not just they've got hatred. Do you know? I actually don't think it's that. I think they've got something wrong. But I think they're generally starting to believe. Well, they believe in what they're saying, and that's sad. But anyway, which I will show. I won't just say it. I will show you what I mean by it. I thought they changed. Okay, got that one. Thank you. A lottery sounds unusual. Well, yeah, but it is kind of a lottery because I think they have to like pull out a ball or something. That's what my awareness was of it or something. Then they randomly pick who's joining. So they take so many young males to join. But if you've got a transgender woman there, she won't. You know, maybe I could just show you. Let me. You know, we've got stuff on the internet. Let me see if I can just show you. Because all right, me talking about it when there's plenty of stuff online about it. Let me show you. Because it's okay talking about it, but when you've got it here, let's see. So we'll go to look something up with Thailand. Ooh. And what is he? Tripolori. Recruitment. Okay. Let's see if I can find something. Because if I can find it, there's videos on it. Yeah, this is one here. Let me see. So let me see if I can share the screen and show you. I'm going to share the screen. I think it's this one. Yep. Okay. Well, let's click on this one to see what we've got.
Why are these trans women going?
Okay. So it says here. So what does he say? Here.
Why are these trans women going?
So I want to make sure I've got this right. Yeah, I'm glad I checked that because that's wrong. Why is this not on the main page? Let me see. 1 minute, guys. See if I can get this on the main page. There we go. Okay. I'm glad I checked that because otherwise you wouldn't be able to see the video. So here we go. Let's have a look at this video.
Why are these trans women going viral outside a military recruitment center in Thailand? You were watching footage from Thailand's annual conscription lottery.
So yeah, lottery, yeah. So they call it a lottery as well. So it's a lottery. So annual conscription lottery. Okay.
Where a group of transgender women known as angels are taking the internet by storm. Thailand's annual military conscription event is a highly anticipated moment for Thai men aged 21 to 26.
Okay, 21 to 26. So yeah, so they have to do this. They have to turn up, and obviously a lot of these the men, they don't really, not all of them want to join. Some want to, so you know, but I think you can go to recruitment just like anywhere and be recruited by the army. But some of these guys, they don't want to be in the army, so but they have to go. It's like the rule, it's like the law there.
Each year, they gather at local recruitment centres to determine their fate through a national lottery. Everyone receives an envelope, and inside is either a red card or a black card. Red means you've been selected for military service.
So you see, yeah. So obviously he's not happy about joining. I mean, yeah. I mean, I won't be very happy. But I mean, then again, I won't. I'd be okay. But I mean, yeah, I can see like, you know, and I guess, you know, there must be some of these men who don't want to join, and you could just like argue, well, they could dress up and pretend, couldn't they? And it's like, no, you can't. And in Thailand, they're not stupid. They know who's trans and who's not.
Well, black means you're exempt. However, a new viral tradition has emerged within Thailand's trans community. While transgender individuals are still required to show up in person to the draft lottery, they can be exempt from service if they provide a gender reassignment certificate or relevant medical document.
Oh, right. So I didn't know. So they can get a certificate in Thailand. Well, that's pretty cool. So they can get a certificate, a gender recognition certificate, and obviously, and medical proof that they're transitioning.
Each year, trans women across the country head to recruitment centres to submit their paperwork, often turning the moment into a celebration, complete with photo shoots, proudly holding their certificates outside the recruitment centre. While it remains illegal for trans people to serve in Thailand's military, this annual tradition
So it is illegal anyway for trans people to be in the army anyway. So they don't accept trans people even if you wanted to join. So that's where it's kind of one-sided. Like, okay, it's good if you don't want to join the army. So, you know, great for them. But if there's a trans person that does want to join the army, that's where there's a failure in acceptance. So even though, I mean, obviously I'd be like, oh, that'd be great. I wouldn't want to be in the army. But then if you did want to serve, you can't. So that's kind of where Thailand is still kind of, it's good with one side, but then takes away with the other side. It's not a perfect system.
has turned into a powerful symbol of pride for the country's trans community.
Yeah, so there you go. So I think that was better to just show you. We have videos we can show, can't we? Can talk about it. So that really summed up what I was saying. you know now. Yeah. So are hormones easier to get over there? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. We're talking about, you know, see, I mean, just have we naturally go into something today, don't we? Yeah, they are. They are really easy to get over there. Say really easy. So in Thailand, you can go into a pharmacy and buy them. Most pharmacies you can get hormones, and you don't need a subscription, a prescription, not a subscription, prescription. You just go in and you can ask for them. So yep. So that's why in Thailand you'll find that with transitioning, a lot of the time a lot of younger trans women there and trans men, because even like testosterone, I'm not sure. I'll be honest with you, I don't know how easy it is to get testosterone. I mean, obviously I know how to get estrogen. I presume it's the same thing. In fact, I think it probably is the same, because you've testosterone you can get for like bodybuilding and things. And I believe in Thailand there's a lot of bodybuilders that just go get testosterone. So I think that for a trans man, it's probably quite easy to get hold of testosterone. So basically in Thailand, like, you know, we have the debate here about trans children and stuff, and saying like when they should start the medication, when, you know, what's good for them. In Thailand, it's completely different. Now, you know, you might think that this is bad. I mean, whatever you think, is just a different situation. The way it works in Thailand is you'll if I mean, for a start off, there's plenty of trans people in the school you're in. So in the schools, they have groups of trans people. My friends, I have a lot of Thai friends, they grew up with trans friends. And it's not like there's a rule. The rule in Thailand is, it's not like you can't start taking hormones. You can go if you can get a hold of hormones. I presume they obviously don't. Probably in the pharmacies, I would guess they don't sell to children, but obviously you could get an older adult to buy them for you. Just like, you know, like someone buying alcohol for a younger person. Probably the same setup there. I mean, I don't know exactly about that, but I presume that's what they do. And then basically you can start hormones. The rule that I understood before was, I think it's until they're like 16 in school, but I think this has changed, that you weren't allowed to grow your hair long. So if you were biologically, if you were assigned male at birth, in school in Thailand, I think they had to keep their hair short. If you're a boy, you have to have short hair. Yeah, they all have like a similar haircut. I think they had to keep their hair short. But and I presume for trans men, I guess they have to keep. I don't know. No, I don't think they have to keep it long, because I remember when I was in Thailand, a lot of younger. Well, I mean, I guess it was trans men or even girls. They could do more with the hair. They had more choice. But definitely the boys normally short hair. But I think it's after 16. I might be wrong, or 15. They're allowed to present as their actual gender. So you find that maybe as it 15, 16 or something like that, then you'll start seeing a lot of the transgender girls starting to, but they'll dress like boys, but obviously they've been taking hormones, so they'll be more feminized anyway. But that was the rule. I remember it being the rule a few years back. I don't know if they've changed that, because I think they can now I think they can even, because it was like the school uniform. They had to wear like for the trans girls, they had to wear a boys' school uniform to I think 15, 16. But I think they can wear the girl one a bit earlier now. So I might be wrong with that, but it's definitely they have more choice there with that. Let me just get some hormones. Hormones on the shelf in the supermarket. Remember seeing that? Well, is that how it used to be in the West as well? I know. I mean, I obviously I've never known that. I know in England now you can't do that, but definitely in Thailand that's the way it is. So Supporn. He did. Oh, Supporn. Well, yeah, I've heard that name. I've heard that name. I think I do know who you mean. I think he's quite famous, him, isn't it? Also, you've actually had surgery from him. Well, yeah. I think he's one of the most famous in Thailand, in fact, because I do recognize that name. So I can smell. I think I'm smelling some. I think my friend's cooking food. I think so. I can smell some. I can smell food. My friend in the other room. I think she's cooking. That's great to hear. No wonder it's popular to go there. Yeah. Well, I really like Thailand. Compulsory dictatorship. Yeah. Well, look, Rags. Yeah, Thailand is definitely not perfect country at all. There's a lot of problems. But it's like anything, isn't it? Like there's that's the thing. Like even like we're talking about America and the UK and stuff, and obviously there's some problems now with what's happening. I mean, like here in the UK, definitely, well, I'm going to go over some things today, but overall, I mean, I guess you would say that England has more rights for trans people than Thailand in the sense we're treated a little bit more with respect in that side, but in day-to-day life, I mean, day-to-day life is very similar. It's more to do with this media presence and stuff like that. And these people that feel like that they can use us as like scapegoating and stuff like that. Like I can't imagine. I mean, like they've just changed their prime minister in Thailand, or she's been kicked out. But I mean, I can't imagine the prime minister of Thailand, when they have one, saying something like, you know, well, I mean, I guess Keir Starmer didn't say something like negative in that sense about trans people. Well, he did, didn't it? But I mean, like this thing with Graham Linehan. I mean, people won't be using him as free speech in Thailand. If that happened in Thailand, they would probably say, well, actually, he wouldn't be allowed to do it because they don't have the same speech laws. They don't have the same free speech laws. They have, I think it's like blasphemy and stuff like that. There's laws, so actually, he wouldn't be able to say a lot of the things. That's what I know. It's good. It's good and bad. He wouldn't be able to say the same things in Thailand. He would probably be in a lot more trouble in Thailand for going after trans people. I think he would be. Yeah, he wouldn't be able to get away with what he's saying. But that's because they don't have as much free speech as we do in the UK. So it's kind of it's a knock-on effect really. So because there's I think there's laws you're not allowed to like criticize people and stuff like that. You can actually but that would go both ways. I mean, if he was there and we criticized him in Thailand, he could take us to court. So, you kind of if one person doesn't have free speech, the other person doesn't have free speech. So it's not a good thing. But the difference with what Graham Linehan's done recently, he stepped beyond that. And I mean, like I showed it in last night's live stream. I went over the law and I showed where it was, where I believe he overstepped, and that's why the police stepped in. A fascinating video. Yeah, it was a pretty good video, that wasn't it? It was the first one I found, but he definitely whoever created that video has definitely just summed up what we were talking about. I love learning here. Yeah, well, me too. I mean, this is what it's about. It's like I said it more. I have some videos lined up, but even them, it's kind of like if we get to them, there's no. I think with these live shows, it can be more organic. We'll see what we're talking about in the chat. We'll see, we'll just move along and go with that. I don't want it to be so structured where we have to do this, we have to do that. I mean, even putting those guys on my thumbnail today, I put them on because, yes, there's some videos there that I think I could just mention and we could just look at. But if we don't cover them, we don't cover them. So what? You know what I mean? They're not important. You know what I mean? I mean, yes, I've got something I can say about them, but they're not exactly the most charming people that I want to cover, are they? I do think the Edge of the Matrix one, though, I just think a little bit stupid. I can't believe he put this video out that he did, because it just makes you think when you see it. You're just like, what? The video he did, ridiculous. Doctor's Supon, highly recommended. Yeah, like I said, I have heard of him, and I believe he's supposed to be one of the best. So you're recommending him, Kirsty. So for sure, yeah. Finish still all compulsory military service for me. Optional for women. Right, yeah. So it's so it's optional. Yeah. So military service. Oh, are you in the US, Kirsty? So is it like compulsory where you are, or where are you? Because I think in the UK it's not compulsory. Well, no, it ain't, because I would have been forced to do it, wouldn't I? Let me just. I mean, I think it should be optional, really. Sorry, it should be optional. Sorry, I was getting my fan. It should be optional, really. What if you want to be in the army or not, and serve. But I think it should be both ways, really. Like if you're trans, you should still have the option to join or not. Let's see. Starmer is turncoat. Yeah, he is. All right. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, the thing about him, I mean, obviously, I know he's obviously since he's been in power, since he's been the prime minister, he definitely doesn't really stick to his word. I mean, he did that after the High Court ruling, where before he was kind of he accepted trans women as women in a sense. Well, I mean, he's not very clear on what he was saying, but he was more supportive in a sense. But as soon as that law came in, he was like, "Yeah, so he doesn't think that anymore." So just to talk, he doesn't stand by anything. That's the problem. The thing about Steer, what's his name now? God, I've got his name. Starmer. We'll just call him Starmer. Keir Starmer. The thing about him, he can't just say this is what I believe and go with it. I know politicians aren't like that in general, but at least some politicians, they have like at least some key points that they believe in, and you can kind of say, okay, this guy believes in this. But with Starmer, and this goes for everybody. Everybody feels the same. It doesn't matter what your political viewpoint is. Everybody feels the same. Everyone's like, why can't you just stick behind something? You can't please everyone, okay? Yeah, you can't. But just go with, tell us what you really believe. Because if you tell us what you really believe, then at least we know. And the people that agree with what he believes will have his support. But he won't have the support, obviously, of the people that don't. But he needs to be honest with what it is, and it just comes across as if he doesn't have. He's just like, I just agree with whatever's popular at the moment. I mean, and when the news came the other day about this, what is it, Graham Linehan, he was like, oh, the police shouldn't be focusing on tweets; they should be focusing on catching criminals or something like that. And just like, well, before you were saying that you wanted people to be tracked down for tweets. So what is it? Which one do you want? And is it because right now you feel like this is more popular to be with this group of people now? So he just can't stick to one thing. He needs to decide what he wants, but he can't do it. And I don't even know why he didn't. Like he didn't need to say anything about this. This isn't anything to do. Well, it's because of the debate and free speech. I know what it is. But anyway, that's fine. You get a feeling Starmer says what he's told. Well, it could be that as well. He definitely doesn't have any, it never sticks to anything. When it's like what's that? A weather vane. Yeah, well, yeah, he is, totally. I use the weather vane description often when I've been polite about, yeah, well, it's finished, right, be polite about him when he isn't, he's ruining things. If he does, he needs to, if he's going to be the leader of the country, he needs to stick to his guns and say what he believes. Man, he should have red iPads. Yeah. I'm in. Okay. Where are we at now? I'm never going to win over reform. But well, I actually have something. Well, I don't have some. Let's shall we just see some of the videos that I brought? That I mean, look, we'll just go over some really quickly. I won't fixate on these because we don't need to. Let me have a look because I have some videos that I did pick. Obviously, you've seen the thumbnail for this video. Originally, I'd put out a vid this morning. I just kind of created a thumbnail that looked more kind of fun and everything, and I thought, well, I might as well put who I'm going to be, well, whose videos have kind of popped up, and I thought I'd talk about. Let me see. I've got to find. I put them in a little playlist so I knew where they were. I have to find it now. No, this was yesterday. I did that the other day. Why is it showing me that? Okay, 1 minute. I will find. Where is it? This one. So okay, I'm gonna show you this one. So I did why is it not got a share screen on here? It doesn't have share screen, so I'm gonna have to find the share screen. So I did a video was last week now. It was a week ago, I think, wasn't it? Was it on Saturday? I can't remember when I released it now, but I did one on the edge of the Matrix. And I think I said everything I needed to say about him because I think I really covered everything I need to really say about him. But there was a video he put out recently, and he decided to go to Manchester, in the UK. I'm not sure where he's from. He gets around. He goes all over the country, and he can be quite annoying. And he is annoying basically because look, whatever way look where he's gone. Okay, so this is Manchester. It's called Canal Street. Canal Street is a very LGBTQ area. Well, it is, and this is where when I mean I lived in Manchester for a little bit. I've actually spent a few years in Manchester. Well, quite a few years I spent in Manchester. I don't live too far away from Manchester, but I don't get over to Manchester as much as I would like to nowadays. But anyway, but this area, I mean, obviously it's an LGBTQ plus area, very supportive area, very inclusive area, and obviously a lot of the people here are very supportive of trans people. It's a heavily gay area. Most people there are a lot of gay men and lesbians, but there's a trans community there, and it's just that a nice area, good people who just and it's a space to just be who you are and everything. Very accepting area, and obviously a lot of bars go drinking and partying and stuff as well. But anyway, so the Edge of the Matrix decided he would go there with his sign. And anyway, let's watch a little bit of it.
Of Canal Street, you can see behind me the canal and the Manchester's gay village.
So I even get a feeling from this video, like, even though he's doing this and he knows he's trying to get, he wants people to confront him. He obviously wants that. I feel in this video, why is it not showing up? I can't see it on your screen. Let me just double check, see if I can see it. Well, it is coming up on yours, isn't it? Yeah. I feel like even in this video, he looks scared. Like he's doing this, but he's thinking like, oh, because I mean, obviously, this is a very, very supportive of this area. Is very supportive of trans people, and he's going there. Like to me, it's like this is not like don't go there. Like the last time he was in Manchester, I didn't watch the video. I saw some clips, and then I saw him pop up in another video. Someone else's video was on that as well. And he was more in the city center, which is not too far from here, but it wasn't the LGBTQ plus area. It was more just the city center. So of course there you're going to get different people. Everybody's doing their own thing. You've got street preachers that are talking about the Bible. You've got Islamic groups who were talking about the Quran and stuff like that. and obviously most of the public events, like the Palestine marches and things like that, they all go off in the city center. This area is very much like this is a very supportive LGBTQ plus area. Now, obviously, we have free speech in the UK, and he is allowed to go there, of course. Anybody's allowed to go there. You don't have to be part of LGBTQ plus or anything like that. And of course, why not? Everyone should be allowed. But we all know going here with this sign around him and what he's doing, and we know what he's doing. And it's just like, what are you thinking? What is going on in his head, right? That he thinks, well, I mean, I know one thing. Oh, great, I can get a video from this, and people are going to watch it, and people have watched it. I mean, how many people watch this? Well, it's not going to let me see it. Let's see it. Hey,
I'm going to take a walk down there.
I know you're going to take a walk. 1 minute. Let's see. 43,000 people watched. Can you imagine that? And I watched a little bit of this, and I thought it was really boring. And I thought, why would anyone watch this? It's just, and it looks terrified before it's even gone.
Probably stop halfway down.
Well, you don't do that. But there's other reasons why. I don't know what day he chose to go down here, because normally this area is quite busy. So he's picked the wrong day to go anyway.
There's a crossroads. I'll stand on the corner there and see what interactions I get.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so let him have a little walk down here. Can see him. I'll just put him in silent for a little bit. Okay. So like I said in my other videos, I mean, this sign itself is just used to provoke. Let's see what he's saying.
When I go down here, of course.
Okay, so this is the entrance to Canal Street. 1 minute, let me just turn my TV off. This is the entrance.
This is going to be some haters.
Yeah, so he's saying there's going to be some haters, right? It's nothing to do with that. It's like you're the one that's coming with this sign. Now, you're welcome there. You're welcome. You can go and relax and be there. No one's saying you can't. But going with this sign is just like, and that's what everyone says to him. When he meets people, that's what they tell him. They tell him every time. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Well, that man's just laughed there at me. So we'll see.
Yeah, so that man's laughed at him. Are you surprised? I mean, you look like a total Wally walking around with that. Because I mean, the thing is as well, it looks like what you're doing. Once you read that and you see, anyone can see. It's like you've got the trans flag, because that is the trans flag. Whatever you say, yes, you can use it, but it is the trans flag. And then he's just like, because he's laughing, because he's thinking like, are you mad? What are you doing? Why are you walking on that? You know what I mean?
A lot of the people will just kind of express their disgust by swearing.
So he's even like, the thing is, he's even saying that people are going to hate, people are going to be disgusted. Now, the fact is, he doesn't know that, but well, he does and he don't. I mean, at the end of the day, right? He knows he's going into that area, so he's going to get that reaction. So he knows he's going to get that reaction. But acting like, why are people like this? It's like, well, I mean, it depends which area you go around. If you want to wear this, I mean, I guess if you went somewhere where there was a lot of people that just hated trans people, you wouldn't be saying this, would you? But I mean, I think he looks scared going down here personally.
Swearing or putting the fingers up, but they won't come and debate me.
Because I like I said this before, you can't debate someone if you go in the face with this. Like, if you come to me and it says there's no such thing as a transgender child, which is like what it says on his board, I would be saying, well, you're basically saying I don't exist. So how can I debate with you? If you want to debate with me, take that off. Take that off and debate with me properly. And let's talk about the subjects you want to talk about. Because when you bring them up, everything you've done, you've either exaggerated things or you've just made it up. So there would be no debate, because I would be just saying to him, well, everything you're saying is not true. So there's no debate, because you're making stuff up.
Or just have a conversation. Really, not a debate. That's what I'm after. I'd expected it to be busier at this time.
So yeah, so it's just basically him walking down here. I'm gonna leave it on with no sound. So he's just kind of like walking around, trying to look for trouble. Wants to get someone to like hate on him or something. That's what he's trying to do. So he's kind of like, look at me, come on, I'm just an innocent guy. And there's no one there. No one's really bothered about him. There's only that guy taking a picture of him, and that's it. And just looks like, I mean, what did he do that day? Did he just spend all day just looking for people? Just sad. He's walked all the way down Canal Street. And it's just like, yeah. And then so he sees this person walking there, he's got an arrow. You don't know who they are. You don't know nothing about that person. Why have you got an arrow to him? You know, this is his thing, you know? He wants someone to come up to him. That's what he wants. People aren't bothered about him. That's the thing. But this is good. This is what I was saying in my video. I said, like, this is the perfect thing. This is how it should be. We should just have him walking around looking stupid like this. No one goes up to him. No one talks to him. And then we can just like that. These can be his videos. If what is it? 40,000 people want to go watch somebody walk around like looking for trouble, then whatever. So it's quite sad, really. And I think this is the thing I was saying before as well. If it's just about, you know, getting views for his channel, like he looks a bit worried here. It's like, oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to get any content today. I really need it because I've come here to Manchester and don't look like I've got anyone. So it's quite sad for him, really. I mean, I know it's the beginning of the video. I mean, I'm sure people talk to him later. I haven't watched the whole video, but I mean, how long are we in now? Like 2 minutes or something. Nobody's really bothering him, you know. He went to the wrong place, really. It would have been better just going to his usual spot in the center. I mean, I guess it's kind of boring for his viewers because it's always the same place. So he thought it'd be a bit more risky and go here. But I obviously picked the wrong time, and this is probably the morning or something. There's no one there. I mean, most of those places he walked past the clubs and bars. It'd have been better going on a Saturday night. It would have been interesting to see on a Saturday night, actually. I mean, it would have been extremely annoying. I mean, I won't wish that up on anybody going on a Saturday night out, but I guess he chose this time because he really didn't want to, you know, he was a bit scared, really. So, yeah. So he's not really on the street now. He's still in the area kind of thing, but this is kind of moving out a bit. So I guess he was looking for people kind of passing through because this road he's on now is kind of you can be passing through. So yeah, that's all I wanted to show, to be honest with you. I just think it's sad. I don't really have anything else to add to it, really. I mean, there's no point watching him all the way through because he'll just be talking about the same thing. He uses the same talking points and he just annoys people and he upsets people, and that's what he does. So yeah, but I saw that well, I think someone left me a comment and said something about it, and I was like, I thought, okay, I'll take a look at it, and I took a look at it, and I just thought, it's just sad. It's just sad. Why is he doing this? You know? But like there's this kind of debate. It's like, is he doing it just purely for, you know, his clicks on his YouTube? Because I mean, 40,000. I mean, I think he'll have made some money out of that. Been okay. So, you know, obviously he needs to make his money. But does he really believe this nonsense that he's spouting? I think partly he does. And I think that's where he's kind of similar to Graham Linehan, where he actually, you know, could end up really hurting himself. The only difference is, I think like Graham Linehan's kind of just like destroyed his life, whereas this Edge of the Matrix has found loads of transphobes on YouTube that want to click in and watch him. Unless they're all watching him doing the same thing as me and laughing. I mean, he's got a view from me, but I was just laughing at him. I just think it's really sad, that video, really. Anyway, let's see where we are. I will see some comments before I move on to the next one. Oh yeah, reform. Yeah, I will be talking a little bit about that later on. How do you view trips down there to Manchester? In Manchester, yeah. Yeah, I used to spend a lot of time in Manchester. And yeah, somewhere like Canal Street where he was. I haven't been for a few years, to be honest with you, but I used to go quite often. I used to love it because I used to work there as well. I used to work in a Starbucks, and so like everybody would like, you know, go for a drink after, and we'd go down to Canal Street and stuff. Not every night, but sometimes we go to Canal Street. It was always the best time when we're down to Canal Street. So I had a lot of fun going down there when I was a little bit younger than I am now. So yeah, I used to enjoy going there. I don't know how I'd feel if he was there. I'd been like, oh, why'd have to some crazy guy come in my house? Was living. Oh, okay. Let's see. What was living there like? I'm over in East, so pretty cut off from everything. Manchester. Well, when I was in Manchester, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I can't say what it's like now, but what it was like when I was there, it felt like quite a big city for me. Even though I'm in Leeds right now, which is pretty. I think it's pretty cool as well. But it's bigger than Leeds, and there was a lot to do. There was always something to do, like loads of like restaurants and things and nightlife, and I really enjoyed it. But I don't know now because I don't know. I see things there now, and it looks a bit. I don't know. It looks a bit crazy now. But the thing is, you're best going. I can't speak about it right now because I haven't been there for a while. But I'll have to go. Check it out, to be honest with you. But yeah, when I was there, it was great. I mean, I lived in where did I live? Because I had like 2 different places. I lived the first time I was living there because I lived there for a few years, and then it was more like the student-y area that I was living at. And then I moved, and I was more fortunate because I got to live nearer the center. I had an apartment quite near the center, a really nice apartment, and at the other side of Manchester, but very close to the center. I just remember there are a lot of things to do, and just being kind of like, and I was a bit younger then, so it was kind of like really more nightlife. So I was out a lot. So I would go like, Canal Street, but there's not just like one area. You can go to different areas of Manchester and you can have a completely different night out. So, and obviously it was a mixed group of people working in the Starbucks, because obviously we had like, the thing about Starbucks, I mean, I can't speak for Starbucks now. When I was at Starbucks, it was very like an accepting kind of thing. There was like everybody was, how can you say, like we had, people from all over the world working there. Different people from different countries and stuff. And then we had obviously like gay, lesbian, and I don't have any. Well, it was me. I mean, I was trans, but yeah, kind of a mixture of people, and everybody just got along. Everybody just got along, had a good time, and the staff I was with, they're really welcoming and stuff. So we're all kind of like, and we just all hang out together. So like if we went down to like the Canal Street or whatever, which is very welcoming of everybody anyway, but all the it wouldn't matter if you were gay, straight, or whatever. Everyone would just go down and have a good time and just all hang out together. So we just go hang out together. And I used to think that about Manchester. I think Manchester was like that for me when I was there, because it had such a big gay community, or I felt it did at the time. It was just so accepting. I presume it's still the same, but like I say, I haven't been there for a while. I mean, there was Pride recently there, and it's like I've been to a couple of Prides there, and they were really big Pride. But a lot of fun when I was there. But like I say, I can't say now. I've been there for a long time. Let me just check where we're at. Oh geez, not him. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I say I only want to show the first part. I'm not going to show the bits where he starts to interact with people. I think there was, after I turned it off, there was a guy who went to him and basically said to him, this isn't the right place. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. If you actually liked watching him, all you'll be doing is watching the same thing. I can tell you what's going to happen in every, well, not every video, because I believe he does different videos, but in a video where he walks in the street with that board on, people are going to come up and say, it's not appropriate you doing this. And they said, what about my free speech? Because that's all he goes to. And it's like, how many times you've been told by different people all over the country that it's, you're allowed free speech, but going around with a board and upsetting people and trying to look for an argument, because not debate, you're looking for an argument, and people tell him, and he's like, I can't believe they won't let me have free speech. And it's just like, you're either mad or you just really, well, obviously you're trying to get money or you're mad. It's as simple as that, because people have told him so many times. Where I live is heavily conservative. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, like, I think in Leeds, I think it's Labour here at the moment. Well, I'm pretty sure it's Labour, in fact. So I don't know. I guess I mean the things that I'm hearing from the Conservative Party at the moment are not good. So I'm not I'm not too excited for the next election. We'll have to see what happens, but you know, if Conservative ever get back any more power, then I don't know. I just don't know what's going to happen because I don't like what they've been spouting. Rural landlords, I put it down to. Oh, okay. Oh, right. In is that in your local area? Yeah. And they got rags. He made himself vulnerable. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. Coughing here. Well, he does. Yeah. And I think you can see in that video. I mean, what I noticed just by watching it, and that's why I decided to show all of you. I think he looks worried because he knows he wants to get a reaction. I don't know if he did later in the video. Like I said, I didn't watch the full video, so I don't know what happened later on in the video. But normally he tries to find someone who might be more. He wants to make people upset enough so that they will attack him. So the part of being attacked is what he wants. If he can get an attack, he can put that on his thumbnail and stuff. So I don't think it's on his thumbnail, so he probably didn't get attacked. But he wants that, and then he wants to prove that that's what people do, and people are attacking him. When it's like, if you push people too much, of course people are going to do that. Now, like I say, I have to say this because it's true. I don't condone that. I don't want people to fight anybody. I don't agree with that. But I understand why they do it because they get so upset with him, and he knows what he's doing. He does upset people. If I were him, I'd have taken swimming lessons. Oh, right. Well, yeah. Well, yeah, because you know, I mean, what a crazy place to go as well. Like going to Canal Street. Well, I mean, it sounds like for someone who wants to get those, you know, the kind of videos he's doing, he's thinking, great. But I don't think it panned out for him by the looks of it. We're actually over vulnerable than men. Trans especially, so it's certainly certain situations. Yeah. Well, yeah. Are more vulnerable than men. That's true. Trans especially is in certain situations. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you know, everybody's different. But of course, it depends on the person and how vulnerable we are and stuff. I mean, but this is it. You know, we got to be. You know, this is why we've got to be respectful of everybody and make sure everybody's safe. Everybody's got to be safe. We've got to make sure that everybody's safe. Because you know that's the kind of communities we want to live in. We don't want to put anyone in danger, do we at all? Edge is a complete joke. Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, just look at him going through that. He looks like he's totally lost. You know, like like he's realizing I shouldn't come down here. And then when he got down there, it's like, oh, but there's no one here to talk with. No one wants to talk to me. It's just a shame that nobody did. If nobody talked to him, it would have been better because he would have just had no one to talk to. And that's how hopefully one day it'll be like that. One day people will just realize, don't talk, just don't talk to him. You know. He made disgusting remarks on the clip I saw. Yeah. I don't really want to show anything where he's actually spouting his nonsense because it can be quite hurtful. Like I said, I did that one video about him, and I did think, am I doing the right thing doing this video? Because, you know, I thought he's not. I don't want to spread in what he's saying. I don't want that out there. But I thought if I can do one video that just kind of says to everybody, like, you know, if you see this guy, just kind of don't go to him. That's why I did it. But like now touching on him, it's just, yeah. I think I just touch. If anything happens, I just touch on him like this. I won't subject you all to any more than that because we don't want to hear him spouting nonsense. We know he's not with it. The guy should avoid squirrels. Well, yeah. I'm not sure what you mean, but yeah. But yeah, you should. That's the best way to describe him. What, looking for trouble? Yeah, that's it. Looking for trouble. He's looking for trouble. Yeah. Well, he did do another video, which I don't think I've pulled that video. Have I? I hope not. I don't. Oh, 1 minute. Let me just make sure that I've got the screen. So I did pull another video. Because today he was he went down to, I think it was London, but it's not his video. Good, I didn't pull it. I'm glad I didn't do that, because I was thinking, so did I pull another video from him? I hope not. So, but he managed to let me see if I can find it. Is it this one? No, it's this one. Bear with me. I'm gonna find it. So I saw when I was obviously getting this clip, I saw that he also went down to London today because one of his, I don't know if I call them friends or the same kind of people were there. Well, basically, Graham Linehan was in court today because that's why so what I've come to learn since, he's probably hoping someone will check milkshake, throw a milkshake over him like Farage. Yeah, well, yeah, he would love that, wouldn't it? If he could get a milkshake over him, he could use that on his video. Waste of a milkshake, save money. Yeah, totally. Well, the thing is, right, so today, Graham Linehan was in court. I presume it was in London, will be in London, won't it? And so I didn't know this before, but he was flying in. So what happened was he was flying in from Arizona in America. So he lives now in America. He doesn't live in the UK. So he now I don't know, he's Irish. I was under the impression that he used to live in the UK. So I don't think he was living in Ireland before. I think he's from Ireland, born in Ireland. Then he lived in the UK, probably because it was obviously his work and business was here. And then he went to live in Arizona, obviously after he started spouting anti-trans tweets everywhere. And so he actually doesn't live in the UK, he lives in America. So the reason he was arrested at the airport was because he'd been flagged. So these tweets he'd done, I think it was back in April, they were basically flagged by the police. But obviously he wasn't living in England, so they couldn't go arrest him at his house because he don't live here. He lives in America. And I guess the police can't fly over to America to arrest him. So when he came in the UK, his passport obviously flagged him. And that's why he was arrested at the airport. And the reason he had 5 armed police is because that's the protocol that they have in the airport. And so he was arrested, and then he was taken to for questioning or whatever. So that's why. But the reason he was flying in today, yesterday or whatever, was because he had to go to court. Now I think they say it in this video. So let me just share this video. I think they actually say why he was in court. So let's have a look. So I think this is from Channel 4. And just a short video. But let's have a look. Let's look what they say. Oh, get some volume here. But the thing is, he met his friend. We'll just call them friends. They met each other outside the court, and he, Edge of the Matrix, decided to give him his board, or maybe Graham said, "Can I have that board? Because I think that would be really good." Which is like, just shows how ridiculous he is.
The comedy writer Graham Linehan has arrived at Westminster Magistrates Court, where he is accused of harassing transgender activist Sophia Brooks. The father.
So he was accused of, so Sophia Brooks, he'd been harassing Sophia Brooks. Okay.
Ted, an IT crowd creator, has denied 1 count of harassing the activist on social media, and a first.
Okay, so again, it was him harassing, got that face, harassing her on social media. I'll just make sure you guys can see this. Yeah, okay, yeah. I really clipped it there, didn't I? Anyway.
The charge of damaging a mobile phone at a.
So it's damaged someone's mobile phone, but you'll see where he's got around his neck there.
Conference in London last
The
October.
board.
The writer was also arrested at Heathrow Airport on Monday on suspicion of inciting violence in 3 posts he had made on X about trans issues.
So anyway, it's not you only saw a clip of him with the board. I thought I had longer with him wearing the board, but anyway. So yeah, he's been wearing Edge of the Matrix's board. But you see, I mean, he was in court for harassment. I mean, I can't believe people are using this guy as some kind of free speech thing. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think that there's someone else covers it. This girl covers
On the corner here somewhere.
1 minute.
This is what.
Oh, wait 1 minute. I'm just keep clicking the wrong button here. Let me get on the video.
This is what.
So anyway, yeah. So this video has some of the clips. So let me put the video up. Bear with me 1 minute. We need to go here. Right. I can just show you. So I found this video, and you can actually see what he did.
Graham Linehan.
Yeah, so there we got it. So Edge of the Matrix gave him his board. But the thing is, he's so proud to put this on. I mean, it just shows you, like, I mean, to me, Graham is fixated with trans people. Like, this is all he cares about. To me, that's how I see him. He just, all he cares about is this. And and this Edge of the Matrix with his stupid board and everything like that, you know, for him to put this on, just like 2 clowns together, you know, just like 2 completely obsessed madmen, you know. So yeah, and you see how proud he is wearing it. He's really happy about it.
As he arrived at court today,
He loves it. So I don't know how anyone can just think that this guy, I mean, you know, such an embarrassment. Yeah, and they also had, I think this is free speech people. Let's see this one.
So the Free Speech Union are there supporting him today, and he.
So Free Speech Union, I don't really know much about this group. I don't really know anything about them, but again, what is this to do with free speech? Look, nobody's saying he can't. In the UK, he's allowed to say what he has to say. We all understand that, even though it's awful. He's allowed to say, but he's not allowed to incite violence. That's what happened. So, you know, and he's not been done for his free speech. What he's done is harassment. What he's been doing, like this thing he's in court for. I mean, I don't know much about it exactly, but it sounds like he's been harassing this trans activist. So that's for the court to sort out. It's, you know, it's nothing to do with free speech when it comes to this. It's like saying, so you can incite violence and you can harass people, and that's in free speech. Do we really want that, where people are just basically harassed and being told that, you know, kind of violence against them? Is that, because I mean, I do believe in free speech, but I do think that if you're starting to like act, you know, asking for people to, you know, have violence against people and stuff, I don't think that's acceptable. We can't do that. Because the thing is, there will be people that will do that. If we defend this, if we allow this to happen, then you're going to basically... So what happens when trans people get attacked? Is that just going to be like, well, yeah, well, it's free speech?
He has argued in court that his trans posts are essentially, well, let's just go back to that headline. In the public interest is what he has argued.
So so he says it's in the public interest to basically harass trans people. He's mad. He's absolutely mad.
In court today, this is still ongoing, but that
really needs to go see a doctor or something, try and like solve his problem, really.
That is one of the first things that we have heard, big headlines out of this trial. Here are a few updates throughout the day before we look at some more of the detail. So,
okay, well, don't need
said
to worry
about
about
that.
Let's see if we can move around a bit.
Separate. This is about something that happened in October last.
So yeah, so I mean, I didn't know much about this stuff before, but so yeah, he was already coming here. So what's it? Father Ted Creator is on trial, accused of harassing a trans woman and damaging a mobile phone in October last year. Westminster Court heard on Thursday. Linehan has told police, and so it's the same thing he's been saying, isn't it? Linehan, who denied the charges earlier, the double-sided placards. Yeah, but that was from the Edge of the Matrix that gave him that.
Year, as I said, he is accused of harassing a trans. The charges earlier. You can go to the Telegraph article to see all of the updates, but I'm just going to giving an example of some of the social media posts. Ms. For Walker said that in one, Graham Linehan wrote, he is a deeply disturbed sociopath, and I believe he had some involvement in the LGB Alliance attack. In another, posted on October 14th, Linehan wrote in the third person, Graham, don't you think you could have softened some of your language with these scumbag, grooming, homophobic, sociopathic sadists?
Yeah, I mean, he has a problem. That's the thing. He has a problem. So, yeah, so he was in court today. I think we've had enough of him today. So I think that's enough of Graham Linehan anyway. But yeah, back in court. Well, actually, that was what he was here for. And yeah, met up with the Edge of the Matrix. So you know, how awful. What else we got here? I'm gonna come back to your comments for a bit. We need to take a break from all that stuff, to be honest with you. Let me see where we're at. I'm gonna just go through because I'll remember where I am then. Susan remarks, yeah, it did, didn't it? We got that. Actually, trans person's body parts. I'll mention in a trans person's body parts. Well, he does. We're at the Edge of the Matrix and all the time. Oh yeah, we got to this part. Wait a minute. I want to come down. Try and catch up with you guys. Walking, looking for trouble. Yep, that's what he was doing. Probably someone clicked. Yeah, all the milkshakes. Oh, right, I know where I am now. Oh, hi, Janice. He's a creep. Yeah. Well, both of them two are, aren't they? I think they're both creeps, but just I don't know. I mean, they're still going to carry on, spewing their nonsense everywhere. Actually, I was a trans child, but I had to hide it decades. So the creep is wrong. Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, I think even saying that trans children don't exist, just that one comment he has on the front of his board, is just factually wrong anyway. Because I think that's more or less saying that like every trans person who's alive doesn't exist. We were all trans children. I mean, I myself was a trans child. I knew who I was, but just like you said, Kirsty, I was in the same situation. I mean, it was like I didn't come out until I was a little bit older. But why did I wait? It was just because of acceptance and stuff, and I was worried about that because you're worried about society. And I think like, a lot of the trans people now, younger trans people, the reason they're coming out younger is because our society has changed and become more welcoming. They can see, I mean, the one thing the Edge of the Matrix might have got right is they can see, we're here now discussing this. Any young trans person that even stumbles on a video like this, any trans person online now, they can see that, oh, so it's just I'm just normal. This is part of life. It's okay. I don't need to worry. There's people like me out there. So it's a lot easier to come out and be who you are. Whereas, obviously, 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, it wasn't as easy because we didn't have those connections. So we didn't know. And obviously everything in the media, and I guess even when you're talking, like, if you were talking to people, if you'd have gone to someone and said, oh, by the way, I think that I'm, transgender, people would have been like, well, they probably would have said, what's that? You know what I mean? So it's true that the awareness of trans people has become more mainstream now and people know about it. But before it wasn't like that. And, but I guess like I don't know how old Edge of the Matrix guy is, but I guess for him, when he was younger, he probably didn't know much about trans people and stuff. Probably wasn't something that people talked about. Probably, I'm guessing he might be 50 something, maybe. I'm not sure. And so probably when he was younger, the only media that was talking about trans people was probably in a negative light. So it wouldn't have been. So he's probably grown up with that. So I could understand that he's probably that generation that was kind of like probably not grown up with trans people and stuff. So just, when the edge of the matrix, he's getting older, isn't he? Eventually with younger people around, he's. I mean, I did see a clip that he did for one of the videos saying, look, they're teaching in school or something like that. So obviously that's upsetting him that young people are actually more accepting. But I think he's blaming that on the university lecturers and stuff like that, which is another thing that gets me. Sorry, I'll just mention another thing that gets me. You've got people that study in universities, yeah, and are looking at things and saying, well, okay, what is a trans person? What do we know about a trans person? Actually going and learning about that and going like, oh, okay, so there's science behind this, there's history behind this. And then you've got people saying, oh, it's because these people in universities and education and these academics, they're brainwashing everybody. It's like, well, no, those people, what they do is basically research and read and learn about this. Now, if you've got a job like they'll say, oh, the working class don't know because these academics, and then they'll say that the working class. I've heard people say stuff like that. It's like, well, you can go and read about it. It's available on the internet. You can go read about it. You can go get books. You can go do it. It's up to you if you want to educate yourself about that. But you can't blame academics and people in university for going around reading about the subject. You know what I mean? It's like they're just studying it. They're not doing anything wrong. Like, the research that was done about brain patterns. I think someone brought up in the comments to me today about how our brains, trans people's brains, mirror cisgender. So like trans women's brains mirror the cisgender women's brains, and so they're finding stuff out like that, and even like academics talking about how gender is, with society, and why it's so much more than just like what the edge of the matrix will say, oh, it's just how you feel. And it's like, it's more than that. It's so much more than that. And then you try and say, well, there is studies, but you'd have to go read the studies. I can explain, but you probably won't really understand, which I just explain it to you. You kind of need to spend a bit of time and just go away and read about it yourself. And and then you'll know. And they'll never do that. They'll just say, you're wrong, like that. And so it's just brainwashing. So they don't want to learn anyway. They don't want to know about it. The cursor will say, yes, if you're trans, early. I wish I had the information that trans kids had now. Yeah, me too. I wish I'd have had that. These creeps are trying to wreck lives of young trans people, forcing wrong puberty on them. Yeah. Well, this is it. I mean, the thing about this, and the problem is in the UK, that is what they're doing. And unfortunately, on that side, they seem to be getting their way. Even though we have doctors, we have science behind this. I went through puberty. I did, because I didn't have the the puberty blockers and things like that. But this is why it's quite interesting. Like they say, oh, we shouldn't give medication stuff to children and stuff like that. Okay. And they're saying like, stop puberty and stuff like that. And it's like, well, no, I mean, puberty blockers pause puberty. They don't stop it. If you don't take puberty blockers, eventually you'll go through puberty anyway. It's just to give the children time so they don't have to, obviously they have a better life if they can present as themselves instead of developing parts of the body that they'll never be able to change. Because once you go through puberty, you can't change certain things. And so they're giving these children the chance to have a fuller life, a better life, and be who they are. But these people that are kind of like, no, that's we don't want to allow it. We don't allow it. It's really bad for children. It's like, well, it's not. And like I said before, when I brought up Thailand, in Thailand, they just do it. They just do it. They go and get it themselves, do it themselves. And there's no one in Thailand going like, oh, we should be stopping trans people getting hormones, when you'll get kids in Thailand once they, before they go through puberty, and they'll get hold of estrogen. They'll use that estrogen, when they're like 12 years old, 11 years old, they'll get hormone pills and just start. Now, I'm not saying that's the best way. It would be better to have a doctor there and do it properly and have everything organized properly, because I do think it's better to have a doctor. But what I'm trying to say is how, when you look at other countries, and I mean, I'm using Thailand because I know Thailand. That's the thing. With Thailand, I can tell you a lot because I spend a lot of time in Thailand, so I know Thailand really well. And there is a lot of trans people in Thailand that did just get on hormones when they were younger, because they were like, well, I don't want to go through puberty. And did their government, do the schools say, oh no, we've got to stop this? No. But I know there'll be people who would say in the UK, they'd say, that's why it's really bad. It's really bad. And it's like, I agree on the fact that they shouldn't do it without a doctor. That's my opinion. I think you should have a doctor. But the UK had a system where we did have doctors and stuff, but it's people like the Edge of the Matrix who claim that everyone was giving out hormones like there were pills. Like, it's not that easy to get hold of hormones and blockers in the UK. They don't just give them out. And then just like, oh, anyone who was said they were trans, they got transitioned or whatever. It's like, it's not like that. I don't know where your fantasy world is. Like, it's so easy. I mean, I waited, I think it was 2 years I had to wait on the waiting list or something like that. And I got in early because I found a clinic in London. So I live in Leeds, and I applied. There's a clinic in Leeds, gender clinic here in Leeds, and I applied for that. And they told me, like, you're going to be waiting because there's a long. Basically, we've got our clinics, but there's such a long waiting list. There's more trans people than there is actually doctors to deal with us, and so I had to wait. I don't know how long I would have been waiting, but then I was lucky because I was in London. I found out about a clinic. They were taking patients. The only thing they said was you needed to be on a waiting list somewhere already in the UK. And I said, well, I'm on a waiting list in Leeds. And they said, yeah, you can apply here. And I got in. So I managed to get, I think it was after 2 years. So I've been waiting for about 2 years and I got in. I got in London instead, but I had to go down to London to sort all my hormones out and go through all my care. And I'm still kind of connected with that actual clinic in London, because even though I do live most of the time now in Leeds, my local GP stopped giving me hormones. Really crazy, because I used to get all my hormones sent from London, and they said, oh, it would probably be better if you just get it now through your local GP and get everything done through your local GP. So I was foolish and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And so I did that. And then for the first 6 months, maybe nearly a year, they were giving me hormones here in Leeds. And then one day they stopped giving them. And I went to them and said, I'm not getting my hormones. And they said, to me, because I had to prove I was trans or something like that. There was some stupid thing. And then, so anyway, I contacted the London, and I can still get it through London, because they said it's crazy. So even now, yeah, I still struggle. The system isn't working. It's not working. I mean, so I still have to kind of go through my London clinic to get things, because even my local clinic's crazy. So yeah, to say that they can get them like candy, wow, I wish I could get it so easily. But even I still fight for it. So I don't know why all these people got so easily according to Edge of the Matrix. So anyway, did I read all this? So if trans kids, they know earlier. Yeah, we got that, didn't we? Did you say that? I want to make sure I read everything's creepy, trying to wreck young people's lives. Yeah, well, he is. He's just. He doesn't know what damage he does. He has no idea. He has no idea what it's like when you're trans and you just want to get on with your life. It's like you don't want to cause any trouble. Like, I don't want to cause any trouble for anyone. I just want to be able to live my life, and obviously I want access to healthcare. Right? I don't want to have to fight. And then, I mean, of course, it's not as bad for me because I'm older, But I can't imagine what it's like for a young trans person when they know who they are. They're just trying to get on with their life. They know, obviously, they can have access now to know why starting hormones is obviously going to be better for them in some aspects. But and then they'll just be denied it because, well, now Starmer has introduced a new Section 28 for trans education, totally transphobe. Well, I'm not sure exactly what they're doing, but that worries me because I think I've said this a few times in my videos about education, and it kind of came really clear to me how important trans education is. I remember being in school and learning about religions and things like that, and I'm not sure if we had. My school was really strange because I know when we had sex education, for some reason they didn't want to teach us it. Which I know might sound really weird because I know it's like, I think it's standard now. But I remember like when I was in school, but basically my class that I was in, there was a lot of boys in my class, and they just couldn't help themselves but to kind of laugh when we were, they wouldn't take the sex education lessons seriously. And I remember the teacher saying, "Well, I'm not going to teach you then," or something like that. And for some reason, they didn't teach us, which I thought it was kind of like they're supposed to do it. So I don't know how they got away with that. I mean, I was young, so I don't know why, but I remember that we didn't really get, my class didn't anyway, because the teachers were a little bit like didn't want to teach it or something. So I don't know. I don't know how they got away with that because I'm sure that's part of the curriculum. But anyway, and I don't remember doing any studies in school about LGBTQ. I don't really remember it. So if it was supposed to be taught, I don't remember getting taught it. But it should be, because just like the religious studies, which I do remember I had, there was a point to that, was to learn about different religions, because when you live in the world, in society, people have different religions, and regardless how you feel about someone else's religion or belief or whatever, you need to understand what they believe, because how can you live in a society where you don't understand the people that you actually are living with? You can't say, "Oh, I don't want to learn about your religion," or "Oh, if I learn about that religion, I'm going to become that religion." No, you're not going to turn into a different religion just because. Well, you might do. You might say, "Actually, I actually feel that's more what I want to follow," which is your choice. But like the thing about like education for LGBTQ and trans education, if you're teaching about trans people in school, it's not going to make, if you're not trans, it's not going to make you trans. People say, "Oh, it could do because there might be that people might want to be trans." Then it's like, look, if someone decides that they might want to see if they're trans or something, that is their choice. But I think the majority of the class, when you teach it, are not just going to walk out and go, "Actually, yeah, I'm going to be trans." I don't think that's going to happen, right? I don't think people are just going to become trans because they got taught in a class. What they're going to do is they're going to go, so that's who trans people are. Okay, so they're just normal people. They've always existed. It's just part of life, just part of nature. And then they're going to go, okay, you know what? When I meet a trans person in future, I'm going to be more like accept and understand them now because I've done some trans education. Whereas if we don't teach about trans people, which is what it looks like they're trying to do, especially in England and America, I mean, that's my understanding, then people are just going to fill in the gaps, aren't they, with their own opinions, and they're scared. People are scared. I mean, the fact is, like, I have watched stuff on the internet where people have said if they see a trans person in the women's toilets, well, there was one particular, I saw a man, and he said if his daughter was going into the toilet and there was a trans person in there, he would go in and he would pull that trans person out and he would make sure they never went back in there again, which means he was going to be violent towards a trans person just for being in the toilet. So it's just like, it could be anyone out there who's trans, if you're watching this, could be any of you, could be me, just going to the toilet and then some guy walks in, grabs hold of you, pulls you out, beats you up, and says, like, "You don't go in there again." And you're like, "What did I do?" And so it's possible. That's why we should be talking about it, because that's what people are talking like. And then with Graham Linehan doing this the other day, his comment, of course, he's just inciting violence. So someone could do that. So we've got Rags. I was 3 years old. My first experience. No influence whatsoever. Condition to female energy at 3 and onwards. Yeah. Oh, right. Well, at 3 years old. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the thing. I think I did a video a couple of streams back. I mean, I don't say I did a really good review of it myself. I was just watching it with the stream. I think it was actually in the it was in the private show, because on the Sunday I do like a private show that's just for channel supporters. So if you're not a channel supporter, think about joining that, because we just kind of, we all were just looking at different videos, and I covered this video, was like the science behind trans people or something, and they were saying that I think it's around 3 years old to 8 years old or something. A lot of trans people, they start to realize who they are at a young age. So like 3 years old, it's very likely. Yeah. I mean, I remember being quite young. I can't say how old I was. I remember I was young, and I started to realize there was something, but you just don't have words for it. I mean, at that age, you don't have words. But imagine if we had the education, you'd be there going, well, that must be it. You know what I mean? You start realizing, at least have time then to kind of understand, instead of just being kind of lost and not know what it is. God, puberty was a nightmare. Yeah. Well, yeah. And it's a nightmare when you're on, because when you take hormones. So if you go through puberty, and then when you start on estrogen as well and stuff, it's kind of like a second puberty. So you have to go, because that's something. I mean, I don't know if I covered that in a video. I was gonna cover it, about like when you're transitioning, when you start taking hormones. And when we start HRT, it's kind of like a second puberty, and you've got to go through all the these changes and the way you look in the mirror and stuff, and you're starting to see yourself. I think it was on my HRT plateau. I did an HRT plateau video, and said that you can sometimes like plateau when you don't see the changes and stuff. But it was like that when I was taking hormones and stuff. I felt like, oh great, it's change, everything's gonna be really good. And it is like, I wish I'd have made videos like this back then, because if I'd have been making videos, I could have kind of just watched them all. I do have some videos that I did make years ago, but I've privated them now because I'm they're quite old, but I can see a bit of a difference in my picture. So, but I think if I'd have been, I mean, like now I'm doing these videos, I'll get to see how I change in my videos now. So it's quite good. But I wish I'd have done it while I was transitioning. I really wish I'd have been on YouTube then. I should have. When I was taking hormones and stuff, I knew about YouTube, and I knew some people did like were doing videos back when I was transitioning, kind of thing. And I wish that I'd have started, but back then it was like YouTube was kind of, I didn't, I just saw it as social media. I didn't know it was going to be something that I ended up doing so much with, because I do a lot with YouTube now. I went through puberty too early anyway. No way was I ready. Yeah. Well, yeah, this has been about puberty. I mean, and imagine and imagine what it's like for a young trans person, and they have the option to choose exactly how they want to do, at least go through that. And imagine they have to go in, like now it's like they're having to go through puberty, and they're changing, and obviously every day they're starting to resemble something that they're not. And we have the we have the medication now, we have the ways to stop that from happening. But these people are just kind of saying like, we shouldn't let them have it, we shouldn't help them, which is just, I think it's just evil, really. So it's a shame that we live in a world like this, but shame we live in a country like this. It's not all countries are the same. Tell me about it. The thing was like, John has alien. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know what you mean. At what? I just try and look at some of the comments, because I'm gonna show you something in a minute. I was wondering though, if you don't mind me asking, do you think the puberty blockers and hormones and doctors' visits for years as a kid and teen might be a disadvantage, as for a going to college. Let me think this one through. Tanya, yeah. I'm wondering though, if you don't mind me asking, do you think puberty blockers and hormones and doctors' visits for years as a kid and teen might be disadvantage for us going to college? Well, I mean, I don't know really, because I mean, for me, it's like I think kind of two separate things. I mean, like I mean, you've got some more comments. Let's see the next one. College was so hard to get into. I just can't imagine having time and feeling bad for trans kids if they don't have some money or time for college. Well, I mean, the thing was, in the UK, a lot of the medical side was available on the NHS. So money-wise and things like that wouldn't have been a problem because it would have been paid through the NHS. So it was paid for our taxes, and that's why we have the NHS, because we pay for it through our tax. But we're going to say really, but I mean, of course, when you're trying to get into studying and stuff like that, of course that's important. Education to me, education is very important. But I think for a trans person, I mean, all I can say is, I mean, the two things, it's just that, if anything, I think a trans kid would be even better at studying for the university if they could just do the transition more simply. I mean, if you think, if that's what you mean by your comment, what I'm thinking is, like, if you can transition and you can just, and it's just normal in your life, like trans kids can just be who they are and just get on with their life, that's better. To be honest, I don't think it should be all this doctor stuff and all. It should be more accepted. I mean, of course, we need to make sure that we get the right healthcare for the right people. Of course, I don't want to be like the edge of the matrix and saying they're just handing out pills like candy or anything. But I don't want that system. But I think at the same time, we should be understanding who people are, especially trans people, and let them get on with their lives so they can study for university and college. Because I think the thing is that we want in society is we want people to be productive and to be participating in society. That's really what we want. When you have an economy, you want that economy to run well. So you want everybody in it to be healthy, to be mentally fit. And the thing is, for trans people, whatever people think about trans people, they're more, well, okay, you've got the detransitioners, and that's what they like to use as kind of saying, like the edge. Let's just edge of the matrix would be saying, yeah, but the detransitioners are so like, yes, there is some people who detransition, and that is unfortunate, and it is sad for them. So I can't imagine going through that, and then, but the majority of people that transition don't detransition. The majority, okay, it's only a small amount. I think it's like 1% detransition or something like that. It's a very small percent. And some people, they detransition because they're not happy with it. Some people detransition because they felt like they were forced into it, whatever. But the majority who transition go on to live very healthy life. Like me, I'm the most happiest I've ever been since I transitioned. I'm actually more productive because I'm focused on work now and things. So before, I was focused on being trans and dealing with that and trying to work, what can I do in my life? I want to live my life, but can I transition? It was like, that was what I was thinking about. Once I transitioned, for me, now I've transitioned now. So now I can focus on work. I can focus on, hopefully one day having my own home and things like that. So I think for the majority, a more productive, more active part of society. And that's what people should be wanting, because you want everybody to be working and participating to the country. We all need to be paying tax, so your healthcare system works. In the UK, that's how it works. If you don't work and you're getting things free, because the NHS isn't free. The NHS is paid through tax. I pay tax, right? And I know how much I pay tax because I can see on my tax form how much I pay for the NHS. So I do pay for that, right? So everyone says, oh, you're not paying for it. You do pay for it, okay? I don't get it for free. So when you say, oh, well, you're getting hormones for free, it's like, I'm not getting them for free, I'll tell you that. My tax is paying for those hormones, right? So I pay enough, right? And I don't use it that often. Luckily, I'm not unhealthy, so I don't I don't get sick that often, so I don't really use the NHS that often right now. So I basically more or less the only thing I'd use it for is hormones. In fact, actually, I do pay for my hormones. I don't get them free, so I do pay for them because I work. Anyway, so the thing is, I think it's better to let people be who they are and at least get that part sorted out so they can get on with life. Because I want them to be productive people in society. I don't want them spending their lives just focusing on this and not working and not focusing. And I definitely don't want people depressed and unhappy. I want them focused on being part of society. Look, I have to work. I think it's better if everyone else works as well, so we can build a society. If you make it so people can't work and stuff, then of course they can't participate, and that means that you know, when you pay tax, you're paying tax for everybody else as well. So you want the problem with the what is it? So when you transition and then you want them to go to university and college or whatever and get a job and everything like that. All I can say, Tanya, is I wish I had access to, as a kid. Yeah, well, that's another thing. That's all I can say as well. That's true, Kirsty. I mean, I feel like if I'd have had access when I was younger, I would have taken it without a doubt. I would have taken it. I wish I could have had hormones when I was younger. I understand. I hope that tutors and scholars for these kids going to the doctor as kid and missing school sucks. I missed a day of math or Spanish. I could catch up. I felt loud. Yeah, couldn't catch up. Yeah, well, I don't think they should miss school. I mean, I think school is very important. So I think, you can have trans kids and they should be they should be, what is it? They should still be schooling. It's just that when they have time, obviously outside of school, that's when they need to go see the doctor. But I mean, the reason they see the doctor is so much is because we don't give out hormones, puberty blockers, because it's puberty blockers we give children. We don't give hormones to children. Puberty blockers and things, that's why they need to go see the doctor, because obviously they need to make sure that's sorted. And it is healthcare at the end of the day. So you have to. I mean, imagine if you were born with, like my brother, he was born with 3 kidneys, which sounds great. I think it was 3 kidneys. Yeah, 3 kidneys. I'm going to make sure they get this right because I haven't spoken about this for years. My brother was born with I think it was an extra kidney. Yeah, that's right. Because you got 2 kidneys. Make sure you remember this, Rachel. Yeah. And he was born with 3. But it isn't a good thing. That's actually really bad. And then ended up that he had kidney failure and stuff like that. So my brother, throughout his youth, his younger years, constantly went to the doctor. And got to the point where he had to go on dialysis when he was older. And then he was very lucky because he got a donor, and then he got a kidney eventually donated to him, and he's had that for quite a few years now. I mean, it's quite a long time actually. So he had to spend a lot of time with the doctor. So I mean, he missed a lot of schooling and stuff like that. But sometimes that it's kind of weighing up what happens. I mean, he's done fine. He works and he's got a good job and everything like that. So he's fine now. So even with the schooling he missed when he was younger, he's done very well. But it is something that unfortunately we have to kind of balance. Let's see. No, if you are trans, you won't risk losing your family, friend, job, livelihood, home, etc. Then go through the process, surgery, etc. on a whim. Yeah, agree. It's not something, everything about being trans and stuff. People on one side will say, oh, you get things like candy, handed out like candy, and it's so easy, and it's not. And you've got to kind of weigh everything up because people have family issues and things like that. So many different things. It takes so much energy to keep fighting to be taken seriously. Yeah. I like I said, I don't know what it's like for children. I have no idea. I'm in the USA, so you're right about healthcare. We don't have it. Yeah, I know. I never try to presume about the states, because I do hear things, obviously in England, and I always think to myself, well, if I'm not there, I can't make full decision, because I know America is a big country. You have different states. I know there's different rules and certain things in different areas. So I won't presume to say, but I do have an understanding from people that I've seen talk about American healthcare, and they say that you don't have the you have to have like insurance and things and pay for it and everything like that. Like here in the UK, yes, we do have we can go to the doctor and stuff, and we don't pay for things. That's true, especially things that we need that, you know, and things are subsidized as well. You might pay for some prescriptions, but it's a lot cheaper. I think it's a lot cheaper than America. So when we buy like certain medicines, they're paid through the NHS slightly, and we only pay a percentage of that sometimes if we work. But it's extremely cheap, really, and we do pay in our tax, so our tax pays for it. The system's good, but it still needs. It's not perfect. There's still problem with it. I think they could work it out, but I think they just spend too much money on other things within the NHS, and we really need to kind of sort that out. So, but I do like the system in the UK, but one of the problems is now, like, if you want to kind of see a GP, it can be hard to see your doctor. So a lot of the time it is kind of like there is problems. I mean, I obviously, not obviously, but I luckily I've been pretty healthy, so I've not really needed to go to doctors so often. But when I've had to go, recently, when I've had to go, I don't like it. It's pretty rubbish, because even though it's paid for through the tax and everything, I find it can be quite hard to get to the GP. It can be very hard to get an appointment. My GP is very hard. And then if you go to the what is it? What do you call it now? Because I always get this mixed up now. The I think it's in America. Is it America? It's ER or whatever. Accident, emergency, whatever. When you go there, I've ended up waiting like overnight. It's like a full night. Just went in the night before and stayed all night. So it's not ideal. There's a lot of problems still, but yeah, at least we don't have to pay over the price for medication, and most of the stuff is kind of covered. Anything serious, normally you are looked after. I mean, the good thing about the NHS is, like, if you are sick, kind of, there's a more serious, they'll push you to the front of the queue. They don't make you wait all night. So if you go to the doctor with something pretty serious, they'll push you in quicker. That's my understanding. I might be wrong, but that's what my understanding is of it. Just wondering, do some of first 1% detransitions go on and retransition? Well, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, a lot of the people that are kind of saying about like, well, the edge of the matrix, but he's not the only one. They like to use detransitioners as like an example, and I've seen a lot of detransitioners kind of get very upset about really resent transgender people and transgender care and stuff like that after detransitioning. I mean, I don't want to speak too much on it because I think it's unfair for me to say anything about someone who's detransitioned, because I haven't detransitioned. I don't really know how they feel, but I do know that what they do is quite damaging for the people where it's successful for them. So yes, some people, it's not been good for them. I admit that there is that. We do have detransitioners, and some really resent it after. But going on to then attack the system, that also attacks it for the people it has been successful for. And there's a lot of people who've been through transition. It's been life-saving. So it's a shame, but I don't know how I can really. I mean, unless I met a detransitioner and I spoke with them, I wouldn't know what to really. I'd have to get to know them and kind of see where they're coming from in their sense. But I would say whatever they do, I don't want to be take anything away from that what they've gone through, but at the same time, there's people. It's been life-saving for a lot of people to say that it's, making out that transition is bad is not. It's not good to do that to other people. It might have not been good for you, but for some people, a lot of people, it is. But I don't know if they retransitioned. Some might, but it's their journey, isn't it? I can't really say. I agree. It was a huge relief after transition. I couldn't imagine not having done it. Yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah, best thing I ever did. Hormones are dirty cheap to produce. those that resent us having access to live our lives and don't struggle because being on insulin or medication for life. Yeah, well, this is it, isn't it? You know, sorry, I'm really proper of that. As a resent having access to live our lives, don't just recent people. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people have, you know, have to take insulin and things like that. And it's like for trans people, like having access to hormones, you know. And this is the thing, you know, we the thing is, there were trans people before we had access to hormones. There were trans people before we had access to hormones. There were trans people before we had access to the Bruce Brave. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you so much. Yeah, he has actually gone through a lot. It's the first time I ever mentioned about him before. But I agree. Yeah. But no. What was I saying with the heart? God, I've lost track now. I was saying about yeah, like with we were talking about hormones, weren't we? Sorry, I shouldn't have gone through comments so quick. I've lost track now what I was saying. Sorry. But yeah, no, before hormones, before we had access to surgery, there were trans people. It's just that hormones and surgery have made it more easier for us to present how we feel inside. That's what the benefits of the surgery and the hormones have actually done. And hormones also help, I think, with the way you think and things. They definitely help to be more who you are. And people trying to take that away from us it's just nasty, because it's like we've got something that we didn't have before, but we were still here. Even if you take that away from us, we'll still be here. There's no rational reason for them to deny us. Yeah, exactly. There isn't, but they will do. Conscription free in, but we pay more tax. Yes, yeah, we do. We pay more tax, don't we? I'm going to just go through these comments because I want to. I agree with the hormones are dirt cheap. To cis women, yeah. Birth control, should be able to get birth control. I support hormones. Yeah, everyone, you know, cis women with birth control as well. Everyone should be able to get access to what they need for themselves. You know, just get government is always controlling anything women want. Unfortunately, you're catching up in that fight. Yeah. Well, that's it. Yeah, because hormones, it works for cis women as it works for trans women. Getting access to them. Well, anyway, before I move on, I'm going to show you something today, just quickly, because I know otherwise, I mean, because it's like getting later, so I need to show you this. So I wanted to show you all, if for those who are interested, I do have a store that I set up, and I've had this for a while, but I've decided now that I'm going to start offering it to people here on the site, because I tried, like I said at the beginning of the stream, I did set up a let me see if I can find it. I won't be able to find it now. Where is it? That looks like it. Yes. So YouTube said that I could actually have a store, but this is the one I think is probably the best one, because, so let me explain this. So this is my Red Bubble store, and it won't let me connect this directly to YouTube, but I think I put the link below the video, and I'm going to put the link. Well, I'm going to put it underneath every video from now on, and it's also on my links on my main page. But basically, right now, I have some old items that I did before here. These are things I've done before, which you're free to take a look at. The link will bring you to this page anyway. At the moment, I've just done 2 items that I thought might be interesting, but I love this because it gives you the option to do so many different stuff. So these are like stickers that I've done. So you can get, like, you know, if you want any stickers or anything like that, and they have different sizes. The good thing is there's so much choice. It's like not just one type of item. There's so much choice. I'll try and show you with all the options actually, but I'm just showing, like, this is a sticker, and they have like different stickers you can get. So I'm just going to show you. Okay. But like, I don't know, it's like a hologram sticker or whatever. But there's loads of stuff. So these are all the things that basically I've managed to create through this. And so there's more than this. I don't know why it's only showing this. Here, I think this is it. So you kind of have to look through it. It's not just like they're all there, but basically I've got like mouse mats, hats, phone covers, different t-shirts, got like active t-shirts, baseball t-shirts and stuff like that. But this is just a start. This is just like, of course I'm going to put the flag on stuff. So this is I did this one as just kind of like, okay, I wanted to put the flag on something, and it basically gave me all these options. So I just said, yeah, I want to do it for all these things. So like obviously like just the flag on everything really. I mean, we've got postcards, bathroom mat, you know, bedspread. I mean, obviously it's like it's £109, but they got it on a bedspread there. Pillow. So you can see even the bag's kind of like in the colors. And of course, like that's what I was doing, like the pin. So you got like badge pin here. So it's got loads of options. But the good thing about this company is I can create art and different images and stuff that we can maybe stick on items like this. And they do everything. So you can basically go here, have a look. You know, you're free to have a look. There's a link below my page, below this video and everything. And you can just see it, and there's like loads of different stuff on it. And it's really up to you. If there's something you like, feel free to get get hold of it. I did this other image here, which is the protect the dolls. So same idea. I put on the I got the text and then I stuck it onto the flag. And so basically, again, lots of options. And if you like the design, feel free to get yourself some of this stuff. I mean, like, I think I'm kind of like, I like t-shirts. I'm actually thinking about buying one of these t-shirts myself, because I mean I did the art, but then I can buy it from from them, because basically it's their company and I just created the art. So I make a little bit for the picture. They obviously sell the actual item, and then I get a bit of money for the actual item. But like, I think this is pretty cool. Like the t-shirt kind of could be fun. I imagine get like a baggy oversized one or whatever. I bought some stuff before. I bought like some more tighter stuff, but I fancy some of this stuff. I just like it with the colors, and obviously with the protect the dolls thing. I think it looks really cool. So I really like it. So I mean, I say it's entirely up to you, but I've got so many things. Trying to see if I can find any more on here. What I've got. So like I say, you have to kind of flick through it and look. Or if there's something you want particular, I'm happy to kind of find a link for you, and then you can find it, because it's really easy once you decide what you want. It's like a tapestry thing here. They've even got like coasters you can buy and put like a coaster. I think they're really cool. I mean, I am generally going to buy some of this stuff. I really am. Because I mean, I created it and then I was like, I'm definitely going to buy it myself. Because I really like it. I think it looks really good. But I'm going to do some more designs as well. This isn't the only one I'm going to do. So I am going to do some more. So I'm going to build it up. So when I do new stuff, I'll show you. And like I say, feel free if you purchase anything on here, I get a little bit for each item, so I do make some from it. But like I say, it's entirely up to you guys. And if you've got any ideas yourself, feel free to let me know, because I can, like I said, I'm not just going to do these designs. I plan to do some other designs, but these are the ones I started off with. I mean, to be honest, sorry, I did them today, so I did do something today. I did quite a lot. I created this today. So I wanted to show you that this is the store. I think this is probably going to be my main store, so I will make sure that I keep you up to date with that, because it's not going to be so easy on the because it can't be connected to the actual main page. It has to be on this on the separate page. So I will have to keep like adding him and telling you what I've got. So let's see what we on now, because we're on about 2.5 hours, aren't we? I might just show you one more clip, because I feel like I missed something out from the thing, but it's not really that important. But I will show you it. Just one more clip, and then I'll probably have to get off. So if it's in here, right, it's this one here. I don't really know why this happened, but obviously some of you out there might understand it a bit more than I do. But and if you're American, you might know you might know this person. Let me have a look. Yeah, you can see it, can't you? Okay. So I'll just get this out before I get off, because I did put his picture in the thumbnail. So so this is about a guy called Nigel Farage. So if you're in the UK, you'll know who he is. And he was in the US, and he was at a hearing. So it's about, was it Europeans' threat to American speech and innovation? Okay, so innovation. So I think it was because obviously things that happen in other countries do affect America, and I guess America also want us to kind of say, you know, what we're doing, and obviously I guess they're interviewing him because he's going to be oh, well, I mean, he's not saying he's going to be prime minister or anything like that, no, but I mean, his party is definitely getting more support right now in the UK. I'm not going to watch all this because it's
The Right Honourable Member of Parliament, Mr. Farage, is recognised.
just like put my headphones on. But there was something he said. It's only a little bit I wanted to show you, to be honest with you. Yeah. So there's this big argument that the UK has problem with free speech.
Well, thank you very much indeed. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Chairman Jordan, for inviting me here today. And it turns out, with news in the last 48 hours, to have been really rather timely. I'm delighted to.
So I think he's talking about in the last 48 hours. So even he's trying to mention here about Graham Linehan. This is the last time I'm going to speak about Graham Linehan as well. But he kind of uses that a little bit. So even here, he's saying that. Now, I don't know under American free speech rights if you're allowed to incite violence. If you are allowed to do that, then that's America's laws. I don't know. But in the UK, I mentioned this the other night. We don't have you can't incite violence, and you can't like harass people and things like that under free speech. We don't allow that in the UK. But we have free speech in the fact you're allowed to say, you know, you're allowed to criticize different people. I can criticize him. I can say what I think about him if I want. I can criticize the King of England if I wish. We do have free speech, but I'm not allowed to incite violence. I can't say something that could lightly affect anybody. I'm not allowed to do that. That's the limit we have in the UK. So I know America has free speech, and I don't know what the well, obviously there aren't limitations on it, I presume, in America, but we do have limitations. And so I think
Acquaintance with the charming Mr. Raskin. I don't care, because that's what free speech is, and with your speech. But hey, that's fine. You can say what you like. I don't care, because that's what free speech is.
Yeah, everybody else, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. Free speech is fine. Everyone should have free speech. Totally agree with that.
And in a sense, this has all been going wrong now for a couple of decades. We've kind of forgotten the Voltairean principles that will.
So, I mean, we'll watch all this, but yeah, he basically has to answer some questions and stuff here, and then he obviously says, but somebody says over here, because he already kind of mentioned the last 48 hours.
The restrictions that have been put on her banned her from making the trip, which is a very, very great show that we understood yesterday of Graham Linehan, the comedic writer, and he put out some tweets months ago when he was in Arizona. And months later, he arrives at Heathrow Airport to be met by 5 armed police. Armed police, not a big deal in the USA, a very big deal in the United Kingdom. 5 of them. And he was arrested and taken away for questioning. He's not even a British citizen.
Yeah. So even here, Farage is not being truthful. I mean, I'm pretty sure the people I hope the people that listen to him understand, like, he's kind of lying here, because like I said yesterday, yes, it's true in the UK we don't have armed police, but we do have armed police in airports. And like he said, he lives in Arizona. So Graham Linehan lives in Arizona. He was coming to the UK. So, okay, he's not a British citizen, but he's been flagged for those comments he made. And you know, they were in the UK. I don't know. Actually, to be honest, I don't know what his citizenship is or anything like that. I didn't even know he was living in America. But he was coming back here for his hearing today, and he was flagged for those things. And so he was. Armed police did get him because he was in Heathrow Airport. And then the fact is that he had made those tweets, which under UK law, if you incite violence, yes, you can be arrested for that.
An Irish citizen. This could happen to any American man or woman that goes.
Well, yeah, I guess if in America you're allowed to incite violence, then I guess if you did come to England, you know. But then again, I mean, I'll give you an example about Thailand. If I go and I criticize the king of Thailand, then I go to Thailand, I could be arrested. Though in our country we have free speech. You're not allowed to speak about the royal family in Thailand. So if I go to Thailand, or even if I criticize the monarch here and then I went there, they could arrest me. Yeah. So you know, I understand. Like, you could say, oh well, in America you got free speech. If I go to England, I could be arrested. It's like, well, if you were living in America and you broke laws that would affect English people, and then you came to England, I mean, I guess, I mean, if you've got like someone who's like obviously spouting terrorist things, for example, I mean, I know it's a bit more extreme than tweeting things, but it's still about creating violence to other people. You'd be arrested. So it doesn't really matter what country you come from. If you're American, if you're French, if you're Thai, if you're inciting violence and then you come in the UK and then you come to the UK, yeah, there's a chance you could be arrested. Yeah. So obviously don't do that. And I know you say, oh well, I've got free speech. It's like, yeah, you've got free speech. And if you're in your own country, you have to abide by the laws in your own country. If I go to America, I have to abide by the American laws. So if I start doing something now, if I start breaking an American law here in England, I could either be extradited to America, or if I go to America, I definitely could be arrested. So saying that like I go to another country could be arrested, it's like, well, yeah, if you break that country's laws, it doesn't mean you get a pass because you're from another country. It doesn't mean because, you know, if a Thai person comes to England, has broken English laws, we just go, oh well, we can't arrest them because they're Thai. It doesn't work like that. It's like if you've broken those laws in that country and be arrested. It's not like, oh, we can't arrest foreigners. So no, you're not free to just do whatever you want in any country you want to go to, just because your country has that. Yes, I agree we should have free speech, but if another country has restrictions on that, like I said, Thailand has it on royal family, you're going to be arrested. There's nothing you can do about it. That's their law.
To Heathrow that has said things online that the British government and British police don't like. It is a.
So he said like the British government and the British police don't like. It's not really about that. I mean, what happened was Graham incited violence. He broke the law. So it's not really up to the police. If the police do nothing, then I would feel like, well, how come they haven't arrested him for inciting violence? I mean, if someone showed me this and said, well, he incited violence, but the police won't arrest him because free speech, I'd be like, so he's allowed to incite violence. So people could punch me in the toilets. I don't.
Potentially big threat to tech bosses, to many others. This legislation we've got will damage trade between our countries, threaten free speech across the West because of the knock-on rollout effects.
So anyway, to be honest, that's all I was going to show you. But I mean, you know, I agree that especially like with the UK and American stuff, of course, we should be discussing our free speech rules and stuff like that. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. And that's the thing about free speech. I think we always need to be looking at what works so that countries can work together and stuff. Of course, if America has more freedom in what they can say than we can in the UK, of course, I don't deny that that's something we need to be in step with. But at the same time, whatever you think, Graham did break the law at the moment. So how the law stands at the moment, he did break it, if we agree with it or not. So yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up. And another reason I brought that up was just because simply Farage and Reform in the UK do have, there is a likelihood that they are going to have a high percentage of government in the next election. I mean, we'll see. We don't know. We don't really know until we have an election. We'll see when all the parties get together and start talking about the next election. But there is a chance that they will, and so yeah, we do need to see what he's saying, because that's something that could affect us in the future if his party does have that power. So anyway, I think I actually covered everything I wanted to cover tonight. So I think I managed to do it actually. How long we've been? It's been about 2.5 hours. I'll just take one last look at the comments before I move on. Now where did we get? Because I know it's Tanya. Did we cover this? Yeah, we covered that one, didn't we? Yes, the government always weird. Country women's actually caught up in this fight. Yeah, I remember reading that one. So I've got to check this out. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So don't forget. Yeah. Well, do check it out. Check out my my store. At least have a look at it. There might be something you like. I'm going to be putting more. Sorry, I should look up here. I keep looking down here. I will be putting more items on there as well. As I get some ideas, because I have a few images that I've been creating. I think look really good, and there might be something that catches your eye that you like. Like I say, I mean, of course, I do make some money from the sales, so it does help me. But it's entirely up to you guys. If you like the stuff, I just thought it'd be kind of fun to have something, and maybe eventually, as we keep working on with the channel and stuff, we might have more things a bit more related to what we're doing on this channel. So I'll definitely be adding stuff. Maybe some with just a small flag on the t-shirt, like a Nike logo sign. Not massive, obviously, but right. So something like a smaller little logo. Okay, I'll see if I can do something like that. See what options it gives me. As far as he's getting his ass handed to him by. Yeah, he did. I think he did actually. In that, I watched a little bit of it, and it did seem like that. So I agree with you there. And yes, he doesn't ban journalists. He bans acquisitions of mind from who is position accredited journalist. Yeah, I heard a bit about that. Like he doesn't let certain journalists go in. So he actually does not support free speech in that sense, because he's not letting every journalist go in there. So it's the same. So it's like one rule for him and other rules for the people. In the US, you can't shout fire in a panic theater. Well, this is it. I mean, that's the thing about free speech. I mean, if you allow complete free speech, then you have to accept that some people will act upon people's like if we allowed Graham Linehan to do these comments, if he's just allowed to do it, then eventually somebody's going to listen to them and actually act on them and do something. I don't think Graham himself would do anything. I don't believe that, but I do think that someone might act on what he's saying, and that's the problem. So if we ever did say that, yes, you can say what you like, but then he has to accept that it can be done on the other side. That would mean that we can also say, oh, someone should do this to him, and then how would he feel? And then once if he gets attacked, he would be upset. So it's all right saying, oh, I'm not allowed to say this, and it's like, well, if you want to be allowed to say that, that means everybody who doesn't like you can say that. Do you want that? Do you really want that? Because there's a lot of people don't like him. So it means that people can be basically going online and spouting violence to people, which is totally wrong. Our citizens don't have diplomatic immunity. Oh, yes. Well, that's it. If you've got diplomatic immunity, you can't be arrested. But if you a normal citizen, no, you can't. You will be. Rachel, see. Well, good night, Rags. I know it's getting late. I'm going to go soon anyway, because it's like 10 o'clock here in the UK. So I'm going to go soon. It's been a fantastic stream. Yeah, get chat. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's been another good stream, actually. Really enjoyed it. And I'm glad the camera didn't break off. I think I will call it a night, because I think everybody's kind of, it's getting late, and I've got to go get some food. So yeah, thank you for joining me tonight. I think we've covered everything. I really enjoyed it. I'm not sure when the next stream's going to be. I'll see how I do. I do need to do some recordings, because I've got some more videos coming out. There'll probably be a video out tomorrow, so if you want to check that out, please check it out. And if you've got time, check out the store. And if you haven't already, consider like joining the membership, which is called Channel Support. It's just £1, and you'll get access to the Sunday show. So the Sunday show is just for members. So if you want access to that, please join the channel membership, and you'll have access to that. Plus the fact that I'm going to be putting extra videos out just for channel members anyway. So if you want to be part of that, you know, there's a link on every video, and I think you can just go to the join button or click on any of the videos that just say member only, and you'll be able to join straight away. Anyway, I think that's it for tonight. Thank you all. I'll just make sure I got the comments. You have done well this evening. Yeah, thank you. Well, it's getting better. I mean, like you say, just keep doing it, and we'll keep getting there. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it too. Well, okay then, I'm going to call it a night. So really nice to spend tonight with you guys, and I will see you again hopefully soon. I will let you know when I'm doing next live stream. I'll make sure I alert you all. Okay. Well, if you haven't, just do the bell icon, because that will let you know, or join my Discord, because Discord also, if you join there, I think it alerts you as well. So if you have alerts on it, it'll let you know there as well. So anyway, I'll see you again soon. Oh, let's comment to say strong, and don't let the transphobe get you out. Yes, thank you, Kirsty. Okay then, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.